General Grievous was the devil by CJ the Champ.
Shut your clanker ass up, B-1.
That's how we starting?
I got this!
He's dead! Just like that?
What's wrong with him? That's not human, man. You're not regular, man.
Come here, boy!
Oh my gosh.
Nigga, the devil, man.
Oh my gosh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new series on the channel, The Forbidden Files. Now, let me quickly explain to y'all what this is. These are not trials. These are files and cases for characters that, quite honestly, don't even need a trial. This is the new tier called the Forbidden Tier.
Those some valid characters. Let me see. That's Darkseid, Joker, of course. Reverse Flash, of course. Batman, Symbiote Spider-Man. That's a valid list, bro. I would love to see CJ cover Reverse Flash. That would be hilarious. Or Dr. Doom.
Characters that, quite honestly, don't even need a trial. This is the new tier called the Forbidden Tier, and it is strictly reserved for legends of the game. And we're starting this series off with a character that was so disgustingly broken, he had to get nerfed. And that is none other than 2003 General Grievous. This nigga Grievous in 03 was the devil in animated form. Niggas talk about 03 Grievous like niggas talk about Vaughn. Like, this dude was a Jedi killing machine that was non-force sensitive, by the way. Like, for real, dead ass, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'd go do it himself, on feet by himself.
Was he fighting them with blades in his foot? Like, what? He was swinging swords with his feet.
Like, for real, dead ass, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'd go do it himself, on feet by himself. The nigga straight up had to go. And let me just give y'all a warning right now before we even start. If you have only seen Grievous from Revenge of the Sith in 3D Clone Wars and have never seen this man in the 2D version, then woo, you're in for a ride.
I have not seen him.
So let's not waste no more time. Without further ado,
Bro had 2 lightsabers on his feet and did not mess up once. No cap. That's all I needed to see. He was fighting 3 people and used his feet. Do you know how crazy that is?
Case 1. Sliming out multiple Jedi at once. Now, this right here was Grievous's first appearance in any type of Star Wars media. And man, I'll tell you, boy, this on record has to be one of the craziest character debuts of all time. So this is how this went down. While Anakin and Obi-Wan was finishing up a mission on this one planet, they get hailed from this one Jedi Master. And this man is fighting for his life and panicking. Bro was on the line like, General Kenobi, we need immediate evac. This new droid general, he's unstoppable.
This art style is fire. I'm in love with it. Damn, we used to have it good back in the day.
And the next thing that you see when they swap to that planet is this man falling over and dying, and Grievous stomping the communicator in the ground. The first time you ever catch a glimpse of this demon is him booming a Jedi Master. Not just a regular Jedi Knight, a whole ass Master. That is fucking horrifying. Now let's continue. The other Jedi that are with the Master that just got boomed are being completely surrounded by an army of droids. So while they had them completely surrounded at this abandoned ship, Grievous makes them cease fire. And after he made all the droids stop shooting, this man got on the mic and said,
Attention, Jedi Scum! You are surrounded by the glorious Separatist army! Now, I could have my character switch to you right now, but where will be the fun in that? So I, General Grievous, will personally come in there and surround you out myself. Prepare yourself for your impending doom, Jedi.
So after Grievous drops the mic and proclaims that he's gonna slime out the Jedi himself, they all start taking position and getting prepared for this nigga, because Grievous is walking towards them right now. And let me say this real quick. The Jedi in here are no pushovers, especially these 3. Long-head ass Ki-Adi-Mundi, who is a member of the Jedi Council, Shaak Ti, who was a pain in the ass Padawans to fight in the Force Unleashed. And Ayla Secura, the alien shorty that took like 10,000 backshots from clones in Revenge of the Sith. Like, these are known Jedi masters. And the fact that this man Grievous had this long-headed motherfucker sweating bullets is insane. So while Grievous was approaching them, all they could hear was his footsteps echoing around the wreckage. They couldn't tell where this dude was at all. So this is where the insanity begins. This poor...
He gonna die first. He looks too much like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He gonna die first. I can just feel it, man.
Steps echoing around the wreckage. They couldn't tell where this dude was at all. So this is where the insanity begins. This poor Padawan that looks like Shaggy, and believe it or not,
I just said that. That is crazy, CJ. Wow. It's easy, man. Sometimes you just be knowing when black people are gonna...
This poor Padawan that looks like Shaggy, and believe it or not, his name is actually Shaggy. Not gonna lie, when I first watched this, I was like, why does this dude look like Shaggy? And boy, oh boy, come to find out, this actually is a Jedi version of Shaggy.
Well, damn. I did not know that, chat. He literally looks like Shaggy, and his name is Shaggy. He definitely gonna die. He gonna die, bro.
Not gonna lie, when I first watched this, I was like, why does this dude look like Shaggy? And boy, oh boy, come to find out, this actually is a Jedi version of Shaggy. Like, that is just hilarious to me, bro. But anyways, while Grievous's footsteps got louder and louder, Shaggy, being the same scary ass nigga in Star Wars as well, ended up losing his composure. So he runs outside just to get squashed by this.
Bro walked out and got squished. I don't know what he was thinking, man. Me personally, I'm gonna be the last one to walk out. You got all these main characters out here. No, I'm the last person to walk out. I'm not getting squished.
Losing his composure. So he runs outside just to get squashed by this nigga Grievous.
Damn.
Yeah, R.I.P. Shaggy. That is one of the most insane deaths I've ever seen. This nigga Grievous jumped from the top rope and squashed him.
Sheesh.
Knocked the sonic rings out that nigga. If you pay attention very closely, his entire body disappeared. That means the impact of that fall was so hard, his carcass was squished into the ground. His body was literally unrecoverable. So after Grievous squashed Shaggy, he starts towering over all the Jedi and laughing at their asses. Then shows them his 10 mechanical body and then just disappears. These niggas were shook because this just turned into a survival horror. Grievous really started playing Dead by Daylight with these niggas, just toying with them while he was ready to hunt them down one by one. So while they were moving back with their backs against each other, you see this nigga appear out of the shadows like Batman hanging from the roof. Dude is literally looking over them, stalking his prey. So Grievous finally decided he was ready to get active. He jumps from the roof and starts going to town on these niggas.
He tried to do it again. He was trying to squish them, bro.
Dude is literally looking over them, stalking his prey. So Grievous finally decided he was ready to get active. He jumps from the roof and starts going to town on these niggas, fighting the whole 1v5 and enjoying every second of it. And dude, this man is a literal cheat code. He can turn his body into a Beyblade. This is the most unfair shit I've ever seen. Like, for real, how the hell are you supposed to fight a 10-foot cyborg that can move his body like a Beyblade?
You can't.
Oh, and guess what? That's not all he can do. This is about to get even more insane. He started breakdancing on their asses.
That's the part we was talking about, chat. If I was fighting and I saw him breakdancing, I'm stabbing myself. Cause ain't no way we gonna win. We do not have plot armor. We're fighting the devil. Nigga started breakdancing with 2 lightsabers. It's over, it's cooked.
That's not all he can do, cause this is about to get even more insane. He started breakdancing on their asses, fighting them with his feet. No way in hell a 10-foot cyborg should be moving like this. No, twin, nah. I'll be for real, bro. If I saw this shit, I'd put the saber down, bro. I wholeheartedly understand why George Lucas nerfed this. So as the fight continued, long-head ass Ki-Adi-Mundi tried to force push, bro, but Grievous dodged it and landed on the side of the roof. So this is when Grievous decided to start singling them out. He jumps back in and hits the ground so hard he made a smoke screen. So this wildebeest looking nigga decided to go in and try to fight him one-on-one, but Grievous pulls off a crazy move. He blocks his attack, and when old boy tried to swing at him again, he dropped his saber, cut him across the middle with his green one, then just slammed this nigga with his other one. Bro boomed that musty-ass wildebeest immediately when he was 1v1 with him. So after the wildebeest Yeti hybrid got boomed, Shaak Ti decides to throw a bunch of scrap at him. But Grievous ends up cutting through all of it. Then this one Jedi tries to pull up on him. I'ma refer to him as Yeet because of got a turban on his head. Grievous grabs his elongated head with his grippers and slams bro's head into the ground, breaking his neck on impact. Bro didn't stand a chance. He didn't even get to swing the saber.
Buddy walked up. They are getting beat up by a clanker.
And slams bro's head into the ground, breaking his neck on impact. Bro didn't stand a chance. He didn't even get to swing the saber. His last seconds of life was him getting his face gripped by this man's foot, then eating dirt right after that. But old boy wasn't the only person to get his face gripped, because after Grievous boomed him, Ayla came in trying to swing, but Grievous gripped her face mid-air, then swung both of their bodies across the map with his feet. That has gotta be one of the most insane ways to slime a nigga. Sending them flying with your feet is OD. So the last two Jedi remaining were Longhead Kiadi and Shaak Ti. So Grievous ended up zoning them both out of their range. Then he drop kicks Kiadi's ass across the stage.
He's not even just fighting them with lightsabers. He's using everything else. Feet, hands, torso. Just like CJ said, he's a cheat code, bro. He's literally 1v5ing, reverse jumping these group of whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called anymore, bro. Jedi? That's not their name no more. They're irrelevant.
Longhead Kiadi and Shaak Ti. So Grievous ended up zoning them both out of their range. Then he drop kicks Kiadi's ass across the stage, taking him out of the fight. And this just left Grievous one-on-one with Shaak Ti. And he was pushing her shit. She was panicking, barely holding on and blocking his strikes. So he ended up knocking the saber out of her hands. Then he comes in to swing on her, but Shaak Ti barely blocks this with the force and gets sent flying into a pillar, and she is out of commission. So the last man standing was Ki-Adi-Mundi with his elongated, dingling head. So Grievous grabs Shaak Ti's saber and picked it up with his foot. And he was staring at this nigga Ki-Adi, laughing at his ass like,
You fool! With your elongated head, I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
So after Grievous
Bro was talking shit, picked up one of your allies' swords or lightsabers and started emoting. He's not even holding just one or two. He's holding three now. What can you do, bro?
Trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
So after Grievous finished taunting this man, he ends up pushing Ki-Adi and knocking the saber out of his hands immediately. And Grievous ends up going in for the kill. But at the last millisecond, Ki-Adi ends up getting bailed out by the clones. And the clones looked at that boy Grievous and said, "Troopers, blast that half-breed clanker." So they start shooting at Grievous, and Grievous hits the dash, while the clones are blasting every single piece of ammo that they have at this man. So while they continue trying to shoot bro down, Grievous decides to drop in and starts to murder all of the clones in front of him. So after Grievous ended up mowing down the whole front line, a whole gunship ends up pulling up right in front of his face. And this is when Grievous finally decided to make a strategic retreat. So Grievous ends up hitting the dash again. That man is out of there. I know his 40-yard dash speed is fast as hell. And Ki-Adi and the clones end up retreating.
What was he doing? Bro, you just got cooked. You're not fighting him. Bro trying to act tough when people are around. We just saw you get cooked, bro. Ugh, don't run away. Stay in the fight. No.
Our dash speed is fast as hell. And Ki-Adi and the clones end up retreating. So yeah, that right there was General Grievous's first ever appearance. So let's review this carnage that he caused. He crushed Shaggy into oblivion, put Wildebeest up on a shirt, gripped Yeet with his feet, and broke his neck, and threw their ass across the ship with his feet, and damn near killing Shaak Ti along with Ki-Adi-Mundi. Oh, and I forgot old boy at the beginning that got boomed on the communicator, along with his entire battalion. So yeah, this man packed up 4 Jedi, put Ayla and Shaak Ti on a stretcher, and had Ki-Adi's ass rethinking life. This is one of the nastiest debuts a character has ever had to date. So yeah, and guess what? that was only case 1. We still got another case left. And boy, let me tell you, it gets even crazier.
I believe it. I've seen enough.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to case 2, the siege on Coruscant. Now, what you're about to see are the events that basically open up episode 3. Even though this series is now considered Legends continuity, this is still kind of what basically happened. So how this went down, this evil-ass conniving nigga Palpatine sent this man Grievous to invade Coruscant and capture him. So the Separatists end up pulling up to Coruscant and a massive battle just ensues. Now, before we get to Grievous, we gotta take a detour real quick, because this is one of the hardest moments in Star Wars history. This nigga Captain Fordo was popping off this battle, turned into the Doomslayer. Just look at this shit. Him and his squad are being overran, but he didn't care. Bro boomed the battle droid in front, turned around, smacked this nigga, dumped a clip in his ass.
Okay.
He throws his gun at this droid, blows his head off, then picked up his blaster in his left hand and started mowing these niggas down. Like, nah, bro. You know this man was top of the leaderboard in every single Battlefront lobby.
I can do that, chat. Easy. Y'all don't believe it, but I can, bro. I be at the gun range. Pew, 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 pew. Get down on the ground. Pew, pew. Put your hands up.
And mowing these niggas down. Like, nah, bro. You know this man was top of the leaderboard in every single Battlefront lobby. Bro just dropped off 20 droids in the span of 20 seconds. So while the battle continued and Captain Fordo was running up the scoreboard, we see this nigga Palpatine watching the battle and sipping tea, not giving a care in the world. This man doesn't care at all what is happening right now. He's just looking at all this shit like, good. I orchestrated all this shit. I don't give a damn what's happening. So while Palpatine was enjoying his tea, Shaak Ti, a bunch of troopers and 2 Jedi end up pulling up with her. And they're trying to get this man Palpatine to safety. But Palpatine was just stalling and acting like, oh, Master Shaak Ti, greetings. Would you like to enjoy some tea with me while I watch the battle? And she like, no, old ass, I'm trying to get your ass to safety. But while they continued to stay in this room, they started hearing footsteps around the room. And
Grievous.
when they started getting louder, Shaak Ti knew immediately who this was.
Get down, Mr. President!
Hi, how are you?
So he breaks in the window, letting himself right in the room. And look at this mechanical, lanky-ass nigga ore farming. Bro really had to hit a whole JoJo's pose before he started dropping niggas off. So this nigga Grievous looking at Palpatine like,
Greetings, Master. I've come to pick you up.
Shut the f up. You mechanical Nimrod. They're not supposed to know that shit till the 3rd movie.
I'm sorry, Lucius.
Now capture me and make it look believable. So Grievous tries to grab him, but Shaak Ti pulls him away. And they end up taking...
That what happened for real? No way, bro. No way. I'm not gonna lie. I might watch this. 2003 Star Wars? Yeah, I might watch this. This seems like it's good.
Make it look believable. So Grievous tries to grab him, but Shaak Ti pulls him away. And they end up taking Palpatine, and Grievous is surrounded by about 20 clones. But bro didn't care that he was surrounded at all. Dude was actually ecstatic, cause now he can let loose and kill some niggas. So the clones start firing and Grievous jumps up and immediately starts mowing every clone in that room down. Look at what he does to this one dude. He grabs him and plants him on the wall, then just slices him down the middle. And I'm not gonna lie, this next guy got done dirty even worse. Grievous slices bro's gun in half. Then he grabs him by the leg with his own leg, then throws him out the window. Nah, bro, that is one of the worst ways to ever go out. Bro grabbed his leg with his own leg, then sent him flying, and he's gonna fall for like 100 floors before he goes splat. Oh man, rip that guy, bro.
He gonna have a lot of time to think as he's falling out the sky. Damn, bro. His life flash gonna be crazy.
Before he goes splat. Oh man, rip that guy, bro. So as he continued to murder everybody in this room, make this clone look up to the sky to see God, we get to one of the nastiest kills of all time. Grievous grabs this one clone by his face with his grippers, then slams his skull into the wall.
Sheesh.
Oh dear God, that might be worse than the guy that fell 100 floors. If
Nah.
you look to the right, you can see the horror on this one clone's face. You don't even see his face, but you can tell just by the look. If I saw one of my homies get slimed like that, I'ma be real, I wouldn't know what to do. At this point, just put the gun down and accept your fate or just run. Those are your only options. Look what happens to this royal guard. Bro grabs him with his...
Yo, what's up with him and grabbing people? Fight like a man. That's what I would say to him. Hopefully it works, man. I'm still gonna lose, but at least he's not grabbing me.
At this point, just put the gun down and accept your fate or just run. Those are your only options. Look what happens to this royal guard. Bro grabs him with his grippers, starts using him as a body shield, then slams his body on the ground. These clones are having some of the most horrific deaths I've ever seen, because this is just getting ridiculous. So Grievous just continued to murder everyone in that room. Those clones stood zero chance against this man. They were literally used as meat shields so Shaak Ti and them could get away. So while they was waiting by the elevator, all they could hear were just the screams of everybody getting murdered in there. Look at this one Jedi. He is spamming the button trying to get the elevator to come up, because dude is horrified of what he's hearing in there. So when the scream stopped, they knew the head start that they got was over. Grievous busts through the door on all fours, running at them like a rabid dog while dodging multiple force pushes. So Shaak Ti ends up finally hitting them, buying them some time to get in the elevator, but that didn't put Grievous down at all. So later on, after they escape, they're all taking this high-speed elevator down to the ground. So they thought they were safe. They thought they had time to breathe, but that lasted for a whopping 10 seconds. They look to the right, and this nigga Grievous is running down the building.
Bro, Grievous got it, man. He got it, bro. He's running down a building. There's so many things wrong there, like gravity. If I seen this shit, I'm jumping out the elevator. I'm sorry. He not about to cook me in the elevator.
They look to the right, and this nigga Grievous is running down the building. Oh my God! He is running down a building, keeping up with a high-speed elevator. Like, no, bro, no, man. This has got to be another reason why George Lucas nerfed this, man, because this is ridiculous. So this one clone said, nah, twin, this shit. He just decides to shoot a rocket launcher at him. And I'm not gonna lie, was that warranted? Yes! I mean, they gotta try something to stop this man. So when they finally reach the ground floor, they are surrounded by a bunch of super battle droids. And Grievous just drops from the building right in front of them. So Mr. Manslug decides to use a force howl, but Grievous was prepared this time. He uses those damn grippers, digs in the ground, and starts moving through the house. They was trying every trick in the book and couldn't stop this man at all. So they just decided to run. There was no point in fighting him. So while they was on the run, Grievous's Magna Guards end up killing the final two clones. So the only ones that were left standing protecting Palpatine was Shaak Ti and the other two Jedi. So they were having to run for their lives through the city while Grievous and his Magna Guards were chasing them. And this whole chase was just insane. They went from fighting on a ship to Grievous just destroying it, making it crash in the middle of the city. Then they ended up fighting in a subway station. And I'm not gonna lie, this next scene had to be one of the most terrifying scenes of all time, when they thought they were safe behind this train. This man Grievous...
Nah, bro. He moving wicked. He's moving wicked.
And they thought they were safe behind this train. This man Grievous pops up right behind them. Jump scare of doom. So he starts walking them down and pushing them back. Then kicks both of the two Jedi to the side. So he ends up walking up to Shaak Ti and telling her,
Salutations, Jedi scum! You may have escaped from me before, but today you will be slimed!
But Shaak Ti ends up pulling off a 10,000 IQ big brain play. She used the Force to wrap this man's cape around the train. So when the train was ready to go, Grievous just gets yoinked. And this finally brought them some time to escape from this man. So about a good 20 minutes passed, and they think that they finally shaken Grievous. Shaak Ti ended up splitting up from him, and the other two Jedi ended up taking Palpatine to his bunker so he could be safe. So when they got in there and locked all the doors, they thought that they were in the clear.
Don't tell me bro was in there already waiting for them. It would make sense though. He's in cahoots with Palpatine. I feel bad for these good guys. It's always a double crosser doing some fuck shit.
And Palpatine to his bunker so he could be safe. So when they got in there and locked all the doors, they thought that they were in the clear. But they were soon about to realize not even getting yoinked by a high-speed train would stop this nigga. Grievous was waiting for them in that room the entire time.
Knew it.
So he drops down and starts fighting the other two Jedi. And while he was doing that, look at this evil, conniving motherfucker going back like, good, Grievous, good. Slime those niggas, Grievous. Put them on a shit. So while Grievous continued to fight them, they end up getting stuck in a lightsaber clash. And this is when Grievous finally revealed his trump card. The thing that he's most famous for. He pulls out the other two arms and starts using all four of them holes.
4? He was already wielding 2. 1 with his foot. You telling me he has 4 arms and he can hold 4 lightsabers? Bro, somebody stop this man. No wonder he got nerfed. He can do everything. Literally everything.
Continue to fight them. They end up getting stuck in a lightsaber clash. And this is when Grievous finally revealed his trump card. The thing that he's most famous for. He pulls out the other two arms and starts using all four of them holes. And when he was using all 4 of his arms, they stood no chance. Grievous cuts both of them down in a heartbeat.
Game over. GG's.
And it was game over for both them. So Grievous finds Palpatine and he looking at him like,
I've done it, Lord Sidious. Are you impressed?
about fucking time, you half-breed clank. Now get me on the ship and let's fucking go. Okay, on a real note, Grievous actually never knew that Palpatine was Sidious. That is still hilarious to how
I was wondering this the whole time. I'm happy he said it. I didn't want to look like a dumbass. I was thinking the whole time like, ain't this the same nigga? I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to look stupid.
Okay, on a real note, Grievous actually never knew that Palpatine was Sidious. That is still hilarious to how oblivious he was to him. But anyways, Shaak Ti finally ends up making it to the room, but she's too late. She sees the other two Jedi dead, and Grievous holding up Palpatine, and Palpatine looking at her like, oh, hello, Shaak Ti dear. I'm having a little trouble here. Can you please help me? So Shaak Ti runs at Grievous, but he hits her saber to the side and just chokes her. So he takes her saber, adds it to his collection, then decides to give Shaak Ti some actual shock. He just electrocutes the hell out of her and just ties her up and leaves her there. So Grievous ends up taking Palpatine to his ship. But before he was about to leave, my goat, Mace motherfucking Windu nigga, came down and looked at Grievous like, you a fake demon twin, and crushes this man's sternum. Look how he had this man Grievous leaning back, Lord have mercy. And this is the incident in this continuity that gave him that iconic cough. So after the ship takes off and Grievous escapes, Revenge of the Sith.
Did they ever see each other again? It seemed like that black guy can hold him, you know what I mean? It seemed like that black guy can do something.
Grievous leaning back, Lord have mercy. And this is the incident in this continuity that gave him that iconic cough. So after the ship takes off and Grievous escapes, Revenge of the Sith starts. But yeah, that's basically the end of Case 2. So let's look at our final Carnage report for Case 2. This man launched a full invasion on Coruscant, broke into the Chancellor's room and slimed like 20 clones in the most brutal way fashion, then decided to chase the Jedi throughout the whole city, then kill 2 of them and knock out Shaak Ti for a second time. This is some of the most wicked work of all time.
Gonzo, the Hidden Leaf's biggest fraud.
Gonzo, the most hated man in the Shinobi world. A man that is solely responsible for so much stupid shit that has happened in the history of the Hidden Leaf. Now let me just go ahead and say this right now, because this needs to be said, because it's not an opinion, it is a fact. Gonzo was a terrorist to Konoha, and not just Konoha, the entire Shinobi world. And get this, he always be saying, I'm doing what's best to protect the Leaf, as he proceeds to do the most inhumane, corrupt shit a character could ever do.
He was working with the pedophile. This is all I needed to see. I've never seen this before, but the fact that he was working with Orochimaru tells me everything I need to know. This nigga is evil. He's in cahoots with Orochimaru. He touches little boys.
Main corrupt shit a character could ever do. Like, on the real, no funny shit. Everything that is wrong and corrupt about the Hidden Leaf is connected to this old raggedy ass bit. And like I said earlier, I got them receipts to prove it. So receipt number 1, the manipulation of Hanzo in the Akatsuki. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is actually perfect that I'm making this video right now, because the next roundtable trial is the Pain trial. And this motherfucker Danzo is one of the main reasons to why Nagato crashed out and became Pain. So during the Third Shinobi World War, Danzo schemed up one of the most diabolical plans to take out the Akatsuki and also become Hokage all at once. Now, this was back when the Akatsuki were not bad guys. They were just some freedom fighters trying to achieve peace. But Danzo was not with these niggas at all, because the word peace was not in this man's vocabulary at all. He thought that they would end up being a problem for the Hidden Leaf in the future, which that ended up becoming true. But this future problem could have been completely avoided if Danzo wasn't a scheming, conniving, dirty ass nigga. Now, this is what he did. He went to Hanzo of the Salamander and brought him a bunch of dead Ame Shinobi bodies and said the Akatsuki killed them. Then he went to the Akatsuki under a dumbass alias named Kanzo. Like, be for real, bro. You couldn't come up with a better name? Kanzo, you are the head of espionage in your village, and that's the best name you could have came up with as an alias? Oh my goodness, how did this guy get this job? So Danzo told them that Hanzo sent him and the Hidden Rain were ready to make peace negotiations. Now, here's the catch. The bodies that Danzo brought to Hanzo were not Ame Shinobi at all. They were dead root members that were disguised as hidden stone shinobi that Nagato killed. Oh, and do y'all want to know why these root members were disguised as stone shinobi? This motherfucker had these root members disguised as stone shinobi because he was trying to sabotage a peace treaty between the leaf and the stone.
The main thing I know that Danzo did was like start the hatred between the Uchiha and the Leaf Village. The fact that he was doing stuff like this, it really seems like Danzo is the start of everything that went wrong in Konoha. He literally did everything. He is the root of all evil.
He was trying to sabotage a peace treaty between the leaf and the stone.
Are you serious, my brother?
Like I said earlier, the word peace is not in this man's vocabulary. This nigga deadass said, for the future of the Hidden Leaf, peace must not exist with the hidden stone. So Danzo grabbed his own men's dead bodies, dressed them up in Ame armor, and said that the Akatsuki smoked yo niggas, and me and my bum-ass Ambu Root will help you spin back on these niggas if you help me become Hokage.
Lord have mercy.
So he basically slimed out the Akatsuki, which led to Konan getting captured, Yahiko booming himself, and Nagato crashing out, killing everyone except for Hanzo and Danzo. And let me add on to this. If Danzo never did this shit, then there's a good chance that the leaf may have not been turned into a crater later on. But guess what? Pain wasn't the only character who ended up having a villain origin story because of Danzo's actions. Because another person who ended up getting a villain origin story because of this man was Kabuto. And what happened to Kabuto was another tragedy. So how this happened, Danzo went to an orphanage and gaslit this former Ambu agent turned nun. No.
Is that Kabuto's mom? I don't really know who this character is, but she's wearing glasses, so I'm gonna assume that's his mom. If that's his mom, I'm not gonna lie, Danzo, what the f were you on? You went out your way to ruin a lot of people's lives.
To go on a mission to the Hidden Stone and spy on them. And if she did it, he would stop sending money or any funding to the orphanage that she ran. And to make the matter even worse, Orochimaru's freaky ass is standing right behind him. And he tells her verbatim, take care that your children don't get snatched either. Children with no past or no family are worth something.
Oh, hell no, man.
And y'all was telling me this was before Orochimaru went rogue. He was already deep rooted in evil. These are horrible people. Orochimaru and Danzo together, that is truly the worst combination of people.
Take care that your children don't get snatched either. Children with no past or no family are worth something.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Another reason that Orochimaru should not be led 50 feet near a school. So this dude Danzo basically told her, "Bitch, get to work or I'ma make..."
Low key, what makes that ironic is Orochimaru ends up kidnapping kids and taking their body. That's what makes that crazy.
So this dude Danzo basically told her, "Get to work or I'ma make all these kids homeless and beg for spare change on the side of the road. And they better pray to God that Orochimaru doesn't find them before CPS does."
What the fuck is this bullshit?
So she had no choice. She had to do it. Now Kabuto was outside the whole time and he was listening in on this, but Danzo knew this and he decided, you know what, little nigga? You're an orphan with no past, so I'ma put your ass to use. So he recruits him into the foundation and sends him to multiple different villages.
That's how Kabuto became under... Whoa! That's how Kabuto got under Orochimaru. That's how Orochimaru and Kabuto became in cahoots. Danzo, he had the plan of getting Kabuto from the start.
So I'ma put your ass to use. So he recruits him into the foundation and sends him to multiple different villages to spy on them and commit espionage. Now, here's when tragedy strikes. About 5 years later, Kabuto got exposed when he was spying on the stone. So when they were tracking him, a shinobi tried to come down and kill him, but Kabuto sliced him in the guts. But guess who was the shinobi he split down the middle? It was No-No.
Oh my gosh!
She was still on that long-ass mission Danzo sent her on 5 years ago. So when Kabuto went over to heal her and was panicking and telling her that he was sorry, she looked at him dead in the face and said, "Who are you?"
What? You telling me that she was on that long ass journey that she forgot one of her kids? One of her orphans?
Over to heal her and was panicking and telling her that he was sorry. She looked at him dead in the face and said, "Who are you?" And Kabuto was sick to his stomach. He didn't know what to think because his mother figure just tried to kill him and she didn't even recognize him. And the reason why she didn't recognize him was because Danzo brainwashed her. Later on, Orochimaru told this man Kabuto that Danzo revealed to No-No that the reason why Kabuto left the orphanage was because he wanted to bring money in for the orphanage. However, No-No wanted to free Kabuto from the foundation so he could have a regular normal life. So Danzo decided, you know what? Both of you niggas gotta go. So over the years, Danzo fed No-No false images of Kabuto growing up so that over time, she would not be able to recognize what he would actually look like. So when she was completely brainwashed and thought Kabuto was an entirely different person, he ordered her to assassinate the real Kabuto because Danzo told her that he was a double agent and he had to be eliminated. So Danzo essentially set both of them up to kill each other.
He has no reason to do this. He's just doing it just because. He is evil. He is truly evil for no reason. It's not like he hated them or nothing. He just went out his way to make people's lives harder.
So Danzo essentially set both of them up to kill each other because they were loose ends that knew too much and he needed them out of here. So this evil bastard basically made a son kill his mother, causing another character to get a villain origin story. Now let's continue going down this list of atrocities. Receipt 3. He was working with this nigga Orochimaru.
That's good enough for me.
Now, right off the bat, that should turn your head. We all know how evil this freaky ass nigga is. So what was Danzo doing with him? Boy, let me tell you, they were kidnapping innocent people and injecting them with Hashirama cells. And when they realized that it wasn't working, they started to kidnap kids and put them in test tubes.
I told you, he was kidnapping kids. He is Diddy. The Diddy Lab. You know what? That's a good name for this. This is now the Diddy Lab.
Put them in test tubes. And remember, he said all this is for the protection of the Leaf as he proceeds to have innocent civilians of the Leaf captured, experimented on, and murdered. And we all know there was only one kid that survived this shit.
Is that Kimimaru? That's Kimimaru, right? There was so much wrong with Kimimaru or Kimimaru. That's Yamato? Oh, that's Yamato? That is Yamato. Yo, these two motherfuckers really just went in and changed all these people's lives for no reason. Yamato was kidnapped as a kid. That's why he has wood style.
We all know there was only one kid that survived this shit, and that was Yamato. He had to watch everybody else die because Orochimaru and Danzo abandoned the project. So when Danzo came back and found him, he decided, you know what, little nigga? I'm about to make you my star Anbu pupil. So Danzo personally trained this man over the years and thought of him as his little successful lab rat. Now, moving on. Receipt 4, his beef with Hiruzen. Now, I'ma have to get this off my chest before we go any further. I do not fuck with the third Hokage at all. This old nigga pissed me off on multiple occasions. But you know what? Let me get the main one out the way first. Minato and Kushina gave this nigga one job. One job! Please take care of the child. And this old nigga looked at her dead in the face and lied like a motherfucker. Of course, you don't need to worry. You old raggedy bitch.
True.
No. What kills me, he really said, I take full responsibility. Then proceeded to throw Naruto in a rundown, nasty-ass, dirty-ass shack of an apartment. Nick had the son of the 4th Hokage living in the fucking trenches. And the only thing that he could afford to eat was ramen and spoiled fucking milk.
I still don't understand how something like this happened, bruh. This is a good reason to hate the 3rd Hokage. The son of the 4th Hokage, you said you take full responsibility. The 4th Hokage saved the village and you had his son living in the slums? You had his son going through all that? Again, I don't know why.
Trenches. And the only thing that he could afford to eat was ramen and spoiled fucking milk. Oh my God, not gonna lie, I gotta stop myself right now because this video could easily turn into me hating on Hiruzen instead of Danzo. So let me get back on track. Now, Danzo, without a doubt, was the 3rd Hokage's biggest opposition, even though they used to be childhood friends and rivals. But everything changed the night when Tobirama named Hiruzen 3rd Hokage, because back in the first Shinobi World War, Danzo and Hiruzen were surrounded by a bunch of hidden cloud ninja, along with Tobirama, them two crusty-ass elders, who for some reason are still alive in Boruto. Why are they not dead? And then Shushui's granddad, who, if I was him, if I knew what this nigga was gonna do to my grandson in the future.
Wait. That was Shisui and Danzo. Yo! That was Shisui's granddad. This gets deep, bro. Danzo is really in the center of it all. He is the problem. He was the start of everything that went wrong in Konoha. Like, bro, it's really baffling to me.
If I was him, if I knew what this nigga was gonna do to my grandson in the future, I'll boom this nigga right now. But anyways, they needed somebody to sacrifice themselves so they could all get away. So Hiruzen decided to step up and do it because Danzo was too pussy. And the whole time, Tobirama was actually testing them to see who he was gonna make 3rd Hokage. And since Hiruzen stepped up, he got named 3rd Hokage. And Danzo got pissed off, jealous, and grew a massive hate boner for the—
How are you mad because you a bitch? You mad at somebody else because he had more courage than you? No wonder he was moving like that. Inside here, he ain't got no heart.
Gonna make 3rd Hokage. And since Hiruzen stepped up, he got named 3rd Hokage. And Danzo got pissed off, jealous, and grew a massive hate boner for the nigga. And he was always plotting in the shadows to somehow usurp Hiruzen and become Hokage. And man, Danzo tried. He really did try. I mean, we already talked about when he didn't want any type of peace with the hidden stone because Danzo was a fucking warmonger. Hiruzen wanted the war to be over. But Danzo was like, nah, that nigga. You know peace isn't in my vocabulary. And Danzo pressed him so much, Hiruzen decided, you know what? Fine, nigga. I take full responsibility for this war, so I'ma step down as Hokage. Now, when they were having the meeting to pick who the 4th Hokage was gonna be, Danzo threw out one of the craziest names possible. This nigga said, I recommend Orochimaru. This nigga tried to have Orochimaru as Hokage. Oh nah, son. Now, the reason why he wanted Orochimaru as Hokage was because these boys were obviously working together. So if Orochimaru was Hokage, Danzo was also Hokage. But thank God that Hiruzen actually had a brain, because he was like, oh, hell no, there's something wrong with that nigga. Nick, the fuck you mean by that? I can't put my tongue on it yet, but I'm telling you right now, something is wrong with that freaky ass. I recommend Minato Namikaze. Nick, oh, don't act like you didn't hear me, nigga. Oh, hell no, I object. So the whole room decided, yeah, you know what? This nigga Danzo's tweaking. So Minato got named Hokage, and literally like a year later, Orochimaru got exposed for doing all that crazy shit. And the only reason Danzo didn't go down with him was because he wiped his hands clean and cut ties with him right before he got exposed. But Danzo was not.
It's kind of like maybe Danzo had him exposed, because once Danzo is done with you, it seems like something bad happens to you. Maybe, just maybe, Danzo set Orochimaru up once he didn't need him no more.
Danzo didn't go down with him was because he wiped his hands clean and cut ties with him right before he got exposed. But Danzo was not done trying to one-up Hiruzen, because one day he decided, why don't I just try to assassinate this nigga? So that's what he did. He tried to assassinate Hiruzen. Man sent out an entire squad of root members to assassinate the Hokage. Nick, that is treason.
It is.
Now they failed because Hiruzen knew Danzo was gonna try this eventually, because Kakashi leaked everything to him. So he sent Kakashi as a decoy, and Danzo, thinking that they just got the job done, was sitting back in the Hokage's chair chilling until he heard, huh? Nick, you don't get your raggedy ass out my chair. And look at this man's face, bro. This motherfucker then got caught red-handed in 4K Ultra HD, and he should be getting 50 to life with no parole. But this soft-ass Nick Hiruzen decided to let him walk. Like,
what? I will overlook your actions. He tried to kill you. He tried to kill you. Why are we overlooking that? Lock his ass up.
To let him walk. Like, excuse me, Nick? He just tried to assassinate you, and you're not just any regular person. You're the Hokage! You can't let bullshit like that slide. Even Danzo was shook. He knows he should be getting locked up. Hell, fuck getting locked up. He should be executed.
Exactly.
Hiruzen had the nerve to say, but in exchange, he must do all that's in his power for the sake of the Hidden Leaf Village. Oh man, great job, Hiruzen. Dude really let this grimy ass Nick walk, knowing that he's gonna do some more bullshit in the future. Talking about protect the leaf. Protect the leaf my ass, nigga. See, me personally, if I was Hokage in this situation, I'm doing Danzo just like they did Shorty and Akame got killed. Head on a pipe for display. Oh my goodness. Moving on, man. Receipt 5.
Valid.
The mistreatment of the Uchihas.
This is the #1 thing I think of. Him and his hate, but not even a hate. Him and his relationship with the Uchihas. This nigga Danzo is a bitch. Danzo truly sucks. He is the worst character. Nah, there's other characters out there that I hate, but he's up there. He's up there.
Receipt 5. The mistreatment of the Uchihas. Now this man Danzo was just like Tobirama. He didn't like them damn Uchihas not one bit. A good Uchiha is a damn Uchiha to these boys. No, but on the real though, Danzo treated the Uchihas like straight garbage. He did not trust them one bit. And the perfect example for this is when the Nine-Tails attacked the village. Now the Uchihas could have dealt with this situation because their Sharingans could have stopped the Nine-Tails. But this raggedy bastard Danzo went to Hiruzen and said, now Hiruzen, you best make sure them red-eyed, dirty-ass Uchiha some bitches out there. Nick, what you mean? They could tame the Nine-Tails. Oh, please. Do you really trust a Genjutsu-wielding Uchiha some bitch? I mean, you remember that heathen Madara? That damn red-eyed thug. He controlled that big furry some bitch and tried to destroy the whole village. You can never trust Uchiha. So Hiruzen decided to listen to this. And
you listened to the person that tried to kill you? Like, idiot. I don't know who's worse, the third or Danzo. Like, I truly don't know right now. They both seem equally as bad.
You can never trust Uchiha. So Hiruzen decided to listen to this.
Dumbass.
They ended up making them guard the civilians when they should have been on the front lines. And if the Uchiha were actually able to help, there is a high, and I mean high probability of Naruto not becoming an orphan and living a life with his parents. So you can technically say that the reason why Naruto
Danzo indirectly killed the fourth Hokage and made Naruto's life suck. Yo, Danzo, you might gotta see me, bro. You might gotta see me, bro. Like, I wish he was a real person so I can tickle him.
What did he say?
not becoming an orphan and living a life with his parents. So you can technically say that the reason why Naruto was an orphan was because of Danzo. But this was just a beginning of Danzo mistreating the Uchihas, because after the Nine Tails attacked the village, the elders got suspicious of the Uchihas. So Danzo and the elders decided to move the Uchihas all the way out to the edge of the village and have them surveyed 24/7 to make sure they weren't doing anything fishy. But all this ended up doing was just pissing the Uchihas off even more. And when tensions kept on rising, the Uchihas just ended up deciding to stage a coup, because they were tired of getting mistreated. So to try to stop this coup, Shisui was going to use his Koru Masukami on Fugaku so he could stop the coup d'etat plans from happening. Hiruzen himself signed off on this plan because this would involve no bloodshed. But this bastard Danzo had other plans in mind. Danzo didn't think this would work at all, so he decided to call Shisui for a one-on-one meeting. So when Shisui pulled up on Danzo, Danzo looked at bro and started talking to him like, "You know, Shisui, I really thought you was one of them good ones. But then I remembered what Tobirama told me a long time ago, and that was to never, ever trust a dirty, red-eyed, genjutsu-wielding Uchiha son-bitch. Give me your eyes, nigga!" So Danzo beat the brakes off of Shisui, Michael Jordan his head.
I'm not gonna lie, Shisui, you might be trash. You got beat up by a one-armed fuck. Like, there's nothing you could have done? I can see your Sharingan right here. You telling me you couldn't do nothing? You got beat up by somebody with one arm. They saying that you could have been the strongest if you would have lived out your years? That has to be cap, bro. That has to be cap.
Beat the brakes off of Shisui, Michael Jordan his head, then ripped his Sharingan right out of his socket. And Danzo's greedy ass wasn't even done yet, because he wanted the other one too. But Shisui ended up escaping, but Danzo ended up putting a 5-star wonder level on bro's head. So after Danzo jacked bro's eyeball, Shisui went to Itachi, and he was like, "Itachi, I can't do this shit no more, twin. This motherfucker Danzo took my manhood, my Sharingan. I'd rather the nigga take my balls, but my Sharingan, nigga. I can't do this no more, twin. Wait, bro, what are you doing? Don't stop me, nigga. Just let me fall."
Wait, that's what happened?
So Shisui ended up booming himself because of Danzo. Now we move in to receipt 6, which is without a doubt the worst thing that Danzo ever did, making Itachi boom his whole clan.
Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. I remember all this happening with the Uchiha, but seeing it all laid out for me is pissing me off even more, because damn, Danzo, like, you just a shit person.
Making Itachi boom his whole clan. You see, after he ripped Shusui's Sharingan out of his eye socket so he couldn't use Koro Masukami on the Uchihas, he decided to fulfill him and Tobirama's dream, the Zero Uchihas plan. Shouts out Zamasu for that dumbass name I just came up with. So he called Itachi and gave him 2 options: align with the Uchiha and launch the coup d'etat and be slaughtered along with your family, or side with the Leaf, and before they attempt a coup d'etat, eliminate every Uchiha except your younger brother. What was he supposed to do here? He had this nigga Itachi playing a whole choice-based game, and whatever option he chose right here was gonna determine the ending of the entire game. So Itachi ended up going with booming his whole clan and saving his brother. So Itachi, along with Obito, still kind of crazy that Obito helped the nigga do it, but these two boomed all of the Uchihas in a night. Every last one of them except for Sasuke. Parents boomed him out of there. His shorty boomed her out of there. So after Itachi dropped everybody off, Danzo did the most infuriating shit. After the massacre was over and everybody was wondering who did this, Danzo came out and said it was Itachi. Itachi Uchiha despised his clan.
The nigga snitched! He snitched! There's nothing this nigga Danzo wouldn't do, bro. There's nothing he won't do.
It was Itachi. Itachi Uchiha despised his clan. That is why he killed Shisui and took his eyes and caused infighting among his brethren. And then finally, he caused this atrocity.
Bruh.
Nigga, this is the most infuriating son of a bitch in this entire fucking show. This rat decided to frame a 14-year-old of him booming his entire clan, which he orchestrated, then said that he was the one who took Shisui's eyes. Like, you old raggedy bitch.
So you rat and then you lie. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie. When Sasuke was going on his revolution and he wanted to destroy the leaf, I truly understand. Sasuke's crash out is actually valid now. I understand why he wanted to do what he wanted to do.
Then said that he was the one who took Shisui's eyes. Like, you old raggedy bitch. Bro is lying on a 14-year-old's name when all you gotta do is take off that nasty-ass, musty-ass, stank-ass patch on your fucking face. Talking about he stole his eyes. Bitch, you got it in your socket. Oh no, and we ain't even done yet. Then this motherfucker walks up to Hiruzen's old ass, talking about this settles everything. Like there wasn't a plan earlier that would have settled everything with no bloodshed. Old ass dumb fuck. And then what he says right here is just absolutely mind-boggling. Hiruzen said, what does this settle? Don't you see the huge problem that we're left with? And Danzo told this man straight to his face, I consider it very minor.
Wow.
An entire clan just got wiped out and bro's talking like, oh, this is just a minor problem. Like, bro, what? So Hiruzen finally had the balls to say, Danzo, I cannot allow you to act on your authority any longer. You're relieved of your duties. Get your bitch ass out my sight. Happy unemployment, fuck nigga. This should have been done a long time ago. All the way back when he first tried to assassinate
Right.
Hiruzen. Like, it took the level of seeing something like this for his old ass to finally fire him. Like, come on, bro, we should have done this a long time ago. And the icing on the cake to celebrate Danzo's unemployment, Itachi pulled back up on bro and told him to his face, just so you know, I heard all that bullshit that just came out of your mouth. But let me tell you this, if you ever lay a hand on my little brother, I will gut you and expose your fraudulent ass for the entire world to see. Keep your head on a swivel, old bitch. So at the end of the day, you can technically say that both Naruto and Sasuke lost their parents because of Danzo. Man, this guy loves ruining childhoods. Speaking about that, receipt 7. This old nigga is the person that leaked to the entire village that Naruto was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki.
You what?
Yeah, this nigga sucks, bro. It's laughable at this point. He didn't leak that that's the 4th Hokage's son. He leaked that that was the Jinchuriki for the Nine-Tails. Like the worst part of the information, the worst thing you can tell people, you chose to say that. Bro, you fucking suck, Danzo. I hope you die. Yo, I hate you, nigga. Die.
Daddy, chill.
Naruto was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki.
You what?
Yep. If you didn't think this old bastard couldn't be any more of an asshole, then man, let me tell you. Now, I'm pretty sure the anime doesn't even touch on this, but if you go and read those Itachi light novels, it basically kind of alludes and tells you that this nigga did it. Now, you see, Naruto wasn't always hated as a child, and it could have stayed that way. But
Breaking
Danzo
news.
decided to leak to the public that Naruto was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki and basically use him as a scapegoat. So everybody in the village could focus their hatred on him, a literal toddler. So this ended up making all the villagers paranoid and scared of Naruto, leading to him being treated like shit and isolated as a child. So yeah, not only are his parents dead because of Danzo, but also everybody in the village hated the nigga because of Danzo. You know, as I'm starting to think about it, 90% of the problems in Naruto always lead back to Danzo, man.
Right.
Receipt 8, trying to usurp Tsunade. Now, during the Pain Assault, Danzo decided to commit his favorite crime, treason. You see, he saw Pain's attack on the leaf as an opportunity to make Tsunade look bad and somehow become Hokage while doing it. So this is what he did. First, after Tsunade was done cooking these old dumbass geezers because they didn't believe in Naruto at all, after they all left the room, old frog nigga was about to go warn Naruto to come back to the village because Naruto was Konoha's #1 option. He was the best player on the team. But Danzo, frog nigga, cause he didn't want Naruto to come back at all. What? This man was actively trying to throw the game for his own team. Deadass, if you want a real life comparison of this is like having 2017, 2018 LeBron and refusing to play the nigga. Danzo wanted Naruto to ride the bit while the whole team was getting dog walked by Pain. Then after he killed Frog nigga, him and his goons decided to hide underground like some rats while Pain proceeded to turn the village into a fishbowl and ends up killing God knows how many people. And you know what's crazy? Even some of the root members were like, yo, shouldn't we be helping up topside right now? And this nigga was like, hell no, we ain't doing shit. This spells the end of that old slug summoning. I wanna look 25 forever, old as a bitch, Tsunade. But sir, what about the innocent civilians dying right now? Out of hell with them. They were a necessary sacrifice in order for me to become Hokage.
You suck, bro.
And guys, remember, everything that this man does is supposed to be for the sake of the Hidden Leaf.
He
so
sucks.
after the assault was over and the entire village was left in ruins, Tsunade was in a coma because she was putting in work trying to protect the village like a true Hokage should. But since she was in a coma, the leaf needed a new active Hokage. And this is when this old ass rat finally got what he wanted all along. Danzo ended up being appointed the 6th Fraud Kage. And yes, I'm going to continue to call him the Fraud Kage because I refuse to acknowledge this nigga as a Hokage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached my final receipt of why I hate this nigga and why this man is the biggest fraud in the history of the Hidden Leaf. Receipt number 9, the Izanagi Merchant. This nigga can't fight for shit without spamming Izanagi. I swear to you, this motherfucker died 11 times fighting Sasuke. 11 times, my nigga. Now, how we even got here was just ridiculous. Because before this, Danzo's fraud ass was about to be exposed for trying to use Koro Masakami at the 5 Kage Summit because he was trying to become the leader of the allied shinobi forces. But when Sasuke pulled up, this old, scary ass bitch ducked the smoke immediately and ran off because he knew he was gonna get belt to ass by Sasuke. So when Sasuke was finally able to confront him and Danzo had nowhere else to run, it was finally time for this fraud to be exposed. So he pulls out that nasty ass, grotesque Sharingan loaded.
You know what I find funny? He hates the Uchiha so much, but collected their eyes. It don't sound like hatred. It really sounds like jealousy because they can fight and they strong and whole time you a weak little bastard. It really just sound like you hate us cause you ain't us. You know what I'm saying? That's really sound like.
And Danzo had nowhere else to run. It was finally time for this fraud to be exposed. So he pulls out that nasty ass, grotesque Sharingan loaded arm with Hashirama cells and tells Sasuke, I will be adding your Sharingan to my collection next.
Womp womp.
Dirty Uchiha some bitch. So Danzo runs up to Sasuke and swings at him with no hesitation. Sasuke blocks his attack with his Susanoo and just stares into this old man's soul. And look at his face, bro. He knows he done up. He knows his old wrinkly ass is about to get cooked by a 15-year-old. So Sasuke snatches this old nigga and just starts squeezing the last bit of life he got left in him. And he straight up asks his Danzo, why did you do it? Why did you make my brother kill my entire clan and ruin my whole fucking life? And Danzo doesn't even want to answer the question. He just starts telling Sasuke, that damn red-eyed thug was a rat, spilling the damn leaf secrets. That's why you can never trust the dirty Uchiha. You're Satan spawn, you hear me? So Sasuke had enough of Danzo's bullshit and just decided to crush him, leading to his first death. Now, Danzo basically has 10 lives, because he got 10 Sharingans in that nasty-ass arm, and they all got Izanagi. So basically, the nigga can respawn 10 times. So Danzo decides to respawn right behind Sasuke, and he ends up doing one of the dumbest moves in the entire series. He tried to stab a Susanoo with a kunai.
This nigga is stupid, bro. Like, yo, I can't wait for Sasuke to pack him up. I can't see this no more, bro. You are literally the dumbest person ever. You did all that manipulation, did all this stuff, but you tried to stab a Susanoo? What is that knife gonna do, bro?
In the entire series, he tried to stab a Susanoo with a kunai.
Stupid.
You serious?
Nick, what made you think that was gonna work? And then he really talking like he analytical, like, as expected. Susanoo, just the thing to protect yourself. So Sasuke squashes Danzo again, and that is another death. This nigga has been one-shotted twice. He sucks. Nick has 10 Sharingans and Hashirama cells in his ass. You can't get any more carried than this. How the f are you losing? Nick got level 99 stats in his ass. So Danzo responds again, just for Sasuke to casually fly up and use Amaterasu, incinerating this old bastard to death and killing this bum-ass nigga a third time. So Danzo responds again and starts blowing his nasty-ass halitosis breaths all over the place, just spreading his nasty-ass breath across the battlefield. So Sasuke ends up getting in close, but Danzo ends up choking him. But Sasuke sends a shuriken at his arm and splits Danzo right down the middle, cutting off his arm and killing him for a fourth time. So Danzo ends up respawning again. And look at him trying to look all cool and shit. Nigga think he ore farming, when in reality, his sorry ass is gaining negative ore every time he's dying. So while Danzo was just standing up there looking like a doofus, Sasuke decided to show him what an actual ore farmer looks like. So he uses a genjutsu, and when Danzo turns around, he sees Itachi just staring in his soul. And his old ass looking like, no, this can't be. You dirty Uchiha, you're supposed to be dead. So Itachi ends up using Amaterasu on Danzo, but Danzo, actually being smart for once, figured out that this was a genjutsu. So when Sasuke came up behind him to try to stab him, he ended up stopping because Danzo put a curse mark on him all the way back when he was choking him. So Sasuke was paralyzed. He couldn't move. So Karin tried to come up and save him. I don't even know why she tried, but Danzo just kicked her sorry ass to the side. So Danzo actually could have ended this fight right here, but he decided to be a dumbass and start gloating and start saying how trash the Uchiha clan was and how saving Sasuke was Itachi's biggest mistake.
You told Sasuke that Itachi's biggest mistake was saving him. That's his biggest mistake, but you gave him 2 options. He's delusional. He's not even stupid. He's delusional, chat.
Itachi's biggest mistake. So this ended up pissing Sasuke off. So he ends up breaking out of the jutsu and blasting Danzo off of him. And Danzo ended up blowing his best chance at winning this fight, because from here on out, it was a belt to ass. Sasuke ends up sniping Danzo with a Susanoo arrow and booms him for a 5th time.
Good.
So he respawns again, and he just decides to rush him head on just to get sniped again. This nigga is trash. His KD ratio is in the dirt. Bro is 0 for 6. Well, then Danzo decides to use a summoning jutsu. So he brings out this big ass elephant tiger hybrid, and it just basically turns into a vacuum. So while this was distracting Sasuke, Danzo came behind him and tried to sneak him. But Sasuke uses a fireball jutsu at the Baku. Then he turns around and just rocks Danzo, sending him flying and booming him again. So Danzo respawns again, just for Sasuke to come down and flatten him into the ground. booming him again. Nick is so trash, he's getting spawn camped at this point. Look, he respawns again, just to take 3 shuriken to the chest and respawn again. So Danzo had 1 Sharingan left, so he decided to put all of his remaining power into this chakra blade.
I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I would have gave up. I probably would have gave up when I had 5 Sharingan left. This man decided to give up when he had 1 life left. Words cannot explain how dumb he is and how much this video made me hate him more.
Look, he respawns again, just to take 3 shuriken to the chest and respawn again. So Danzo had 1 Sharingan left, so he decided to put all of his remaining power into this chakra blade. So Danzo runs up to Sasuke just to get stabbed again. And just like that, Danzo just wasted all of his Sharingan. This fraud couldn't get the job done with 10 Sharingans, wood style, and Hashirama cells. This nigga is trash. So Danzo ends up falling to his knees, and this nigga knows it's over. His pathetic ass tried to get up just to fall down face first. He was done, cooked. So Danzo, being desperate, decided to use one last trick up his sleeve. He ends up grabbing Karin and using her as a hostage. So Danzo had to be thinking, since I got his girl, I should be able to negotiate and get out of here. Cause ain't no way in hell he gonna hurt her, right? Right? Sasuke booms both of them through the chest.
Yep.
This didn't give a fuck, bro. Look at his face. This man was deranged. He was out for blood. He didn't give a fuck. He straight up told Shorty, since you managed to get taken hostage, you're nothing but a burden to me. So when Shorty fell over, Danzo knew it was over. We end up getting one of the most satisfying scenes in the entire series, as we get to watch this loser, this fraud, this war criminal run away like a bitch, cause he knows this.
Look at the way Sasuke is smiling, bro. Walk him down, Sasuke. We call him Walk him down K around here. Big walk him down K, bro. Walk him down K.
Satisfying scenes in the entire series, as we get to watch this loser, this fraud, this war criminal run away like a bitch, cause he knows it's over. So then Obito came down, and Danzo was surrounded by the final 2 members of the clan that he destroyed. This was all of Danzo's sins coming back to bite him in the ass. Poetic justice. So Danzo in his final moments decided, if I'm going out, I'm taking you damn Uchiha with me. So he uses a reverse tetragram ceiling jutsu and ends up blowing himself sky high. But even after using that jutsu, Danzo bricked, and he failed at taking them out with him. And Danzo, the evilest nigga in Naruto, the most pathetic old piece of shit, died a fucking failure and will be remembered as Konoha's biggest fraud.
Hell yeah! The trial of Garou.
So after Bluefire ends up getting sent flying into the wall, all the other villains were in the room cheering like, oh yeah, you showed him high. Well, Garou turned around and said, the f are you guys cheering for? You know I'm about to whoop y'all asses too, right?
You serious? I'm like, what did he say f me for?
W intro.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the round table. And y'all already know what time it is. Hit the poster, it's trial time, baby, for one of the deadliest YNs in anime history. And it is none other than the self-proclaimed human monster, the hero hunter Garou. And man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this motherfucker is one of Satan's greatest soldiers. If I looked at this man's playlist, it's straight Vaughn with a little bit of TK and a sprinkle of Melly, cause murder was on this nigga's mind 24/7. So let's go ahead and get down to business. The evidence is on deck and ready to be presented. So without further ado, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Exhibit A, the Hero Hunter. Garou. Now, like I said earlier, this man is one of anime's deadliest YNs. This man is only 18 years old, dog walking grown ass men.
He was 18 and was cooking people like that. Now I see why he said he was King Von. It makes sense now. He definitely was King Von.
Dog walking grown ass men. Like real shit. This man avidly goes around hunting down heroes and beating the shit out of them. This nigga is crazy. And I mean, bro, you can just tell by his appearance. This nigga has the signature Heihachi cut. He just doesn't have the bald spot yet. And this is all I need to see. If you have the same hairstyle as one of the biggest menaces in video game history, I'm not with that nigga. No, he's a smoke demon. Now, to understand why this man is a certified crash out, we have to go back and take a look at his childhood. So when Goro was a kid, he loved to watch TV and watch superhero shows. Now, when he was watching these shows, he always sympathized with the monsters and thought that they were treated unfairly.
That's the first red flag. This is the equivalent of your kid drawing monsters and things that don't look right. When little kids start drawing like nightmares and a bunch of creepy creatures, that's how you know it's time to go ahead and put them in a psych ward, bro.
Now, when he was watching these shows, he always sympathized with the monsters and thought that they were treated unfairly and wanted them to win. So basically, to give y'all a real life example, this kid would watch Power Rangers and he would want villains like Ivan Ooze, Mesogog, and Lord Zed to win. I ain't gonna lie, if we being for real, this kid should have been put on a watch list.
That's what I was saying.
Obviously, he was bullied because of this, but one day, this nigga snapped and beat the shit out of one of his bullies. This nigga was a juvenile delinquent at the age of 5. So obviously, he got suspended because the principal wasn't trying to hear this nigga out or nothing, even though he was the one being bullied the whole time, and he was basically just labeled as an outcast. Now, some years later, this man traveled to Bang's dojo and wanted him to train him. So Bang decided to train him, and Goro quickly became Bang's top student. Now this is when this motherfucker crashed out. Once he learned everything he needed to learn, this man said, man, look, I'm done with this shit. And beat the hell out of everybody else in the dojo. This man crippled every single student at that dojo that day because he simply got bored. So after this, Bang expelled him, and Goro went down the path to become a literal human monster. And his only objective was to hunt down heroes and get stronger. So not only does this man have the hairstyle of Heihachi, but also now he has the mentality of Akuma. This nigga is the walking definition of a menace to society.
Yeah.
Now, let's dive in to the 3 major pieces of evidence that I have on this man for this exhibit. So, incident number 1, declaring war on the Hero Association. So the Hero Association held a meeting to try to convince a bunch of villains and assassins of the underworld to help them in the monster crisis. So Goro decided to show up to this meeting, but not for the right reasons. This man came here to make a statement. Bro pulled up in this meeting and straight up said, "Hey, OG, I don't know what the you talking about up there, but the only talking I'm trying to do right now is with these hands. So who wanna get f***ed up first?"
This is crazy.
So obviously when the association heard this, they was like, who the f is that guy? They thought bro was straight delusional, but they were about to get one of the nastiest wake-up calls of all time. So Sitch tells the 3 heroes in the room to throw Goro out. So Magic Chook Man goes in to attack him, but Goro grabs dude and starts choking him to death. So this buff bastard tried to hit him, but dude bricked. Then Goro told him, "Ooh, hey bro, check your hand, twin." Dude looks at his arm, and his arm is just mangled. So Goro walks him down and clocks his so hard he flies across the room. So the last hero standing was Blue Fire. He shoots a fire blast at him, but in the blink of an eye, Goro cut this man's arm off, then sent him backing all the way to the wall and just splattered his ass. So after this man cooked 3 A-rank heroes with ease, all the other villains were in the room cheering like, "Oh yeah, you showed him high." Well, Goro turned around and said, "The fuck are you guys cheering for? You know I'm about to whoop y'all asses too, right?"
You serious? I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
So lays out every single motherfucker in that room.
I remember seeing this and I knew Garo was a problem. He took out a whole room of heroes. They definitely got too much screen time on him. He definitely gonna show up again.
So lays out every every single motherfucker in that room. So after this man just laid out I don't know how many people, he tells old boy before he leaves, I hope this pile of bodies gets my point across. And in 6 months' time, I'm coming back and I'm coming through the front door. And he walks away like nothing happened. This man's first appearance was him laying out over 100 people. That is pure nasty work. Now, let's move on to incident 2, the reverse jumping at the park. So late one night, Garo confronted the greatest hero of all time, Moomin Rider. Bruh. And
you said what? The greatest what? Hold on. Maybe I heard him wrong. I'm gonna give him a chance to fix it.
Confronted the greatest hero of all time, Moomin Rider. Bruh.
CJ, are we being serious right now, CJ? Moomin Rider, the greatest hero?
Stop the cap.
Why are you rage baiting me? That nigga just rides a bike and have like high spirits. I can do that, CJ. Anybody can.
And he told bro off the rip, I'm about to fuck your shit up, twin. But right before he's about to swing on Moomin Rider, a bunch of dudes in tank tops pull up behind him and they want to jump bro. Because the reason why is because earlier that day, Garo straight up assaulted this red shirt dude in a dark alley. And the reason why he did it is because they just simply crossed paths. So dude basically beat his—
He just beat his ass just for walking on the same streets? He beat him up just because? Yes, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT because he beat up a innocent bystander? Yeah, you on my watch list too, Jaden.
Earlier that day, Garo straight up assaulted this red shirt dude in a dark alley. And the reason why he did it is because they just simply crossed paths. So dude basically beat his ass for walking too close to him. So red shirt dude decides to bring his goons and jump Garo that night. But while dude was yapping about how him and his boys are gonna mess him up, Garo puts his fist in his face and drops him off the rip. And all his boys are shook. They know they done up while Garo's yelling at him like, oh, y'all done ran up on the wrong nigga today. So Garo goes into attack, but he gets rocked and gets sent rolling down the street. And the person who rocked him was Tank Top Master, Class S rank 16. So this man is ranked number 16 in the world.
Oh, really?
So anybody else will be like, oh, hell no.
Tank Top Master, rank 16? I don't know, man. He still seems like a side character to me, but his rank is 16. He's 16 in the world. It just don't sound right, bro. He sounds trash.
So this man is ranked number 16 in the world. So anybody else will be like, oh, hell no, I'm not fighting this buff ass nigga. But Garo, dude was ecstatic. He was like, Class S? Oh, fuck yeah, now we talking, nigga. So Tank Top Master slams the ground and starts charging at Garo and hitting him with his Tank Top Tackle, sending Garo flying and spinning like a Beyblade.
Tank Top Tackle? Tank Top Tackle? Tank Top Tackle. Why can I not say T's? That shit is ass.
Tank Top Tackle, sending Garo flying and spinning like a Beyblade. Now this was his signature move. So all his boys were like, yeah man, you got him bro. On God, no way he survives that. But Garo hits a perfect landing. And he completely ate his attack. So Tank Top Master tries to go in for another hit, but Moomin Rider decides to eat it. So everybody is shocked and Tank Top Master's like, bro, what are you doing? But Moomin Rider wanted to defuse the situation with the most powerful technique in anime history, Talk No Jutsu. He was telling Tank Top Master, you gotta stop, man. You are about to kill a human. We're supposed to protect people, not kill them. So Tank Top Master, being critically affected by Talk No Jutsu, decided, you know what? Let this be a lesson, kid. Make sure you never harm anybody ever again.
You should have killed him. Heroes are supposed to save the day. You spared this person and he's gonna kill a lot more people. You let somebody that rides a bike talk no jutsu you? I knew I didn't like that tank top wearing motherfucker.
Let this be a lesson, kid. Make sure you never harm anybody ever again. So Garo was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm leaving. The bro starts walking away, and it seems that the Talk No Jutsu has affected Garo as well, until he stops and turns around and says, did you really think that Talk No Jutsu bullshit will work on me, you punk pussy bike riding bitch ass nigga?
Yeah,
Tank Top Master expected.
Maybe I'm on Garu's side. I'm on Garu's side now. Cause yeah, fuck that guy. I hate him and his bike. I flat both his tires.
But Tank Top Master expected this and had that right hook ready. So he socks Garo in the face. But out of nowhere, Garo hits a counter. Out of nowhere, breaking dude's nose in the process. And Garo was pissed off he had to do that because he had to use Bang style to do it. Blood was like, God damn it, I hate using that old ass nigga shit. But fuck it, I'll put this on a stretcher. So dude starts hitting him with a Star Platinum Jotaro style barrage, then slams him through the wall. So after Garo just annihilated bro, Moomin Rider tries to attack Garo from behind, but he plants his face in the ground and starts bashing his head into the ground repeatedly.
Moomin Rider, let's have our intervention. Let's have a talk real quick. What was you thinking about right there? The tank top master just did all that, and you think your bike is gonna be more effective than a superhero ranked 16 around the world? This is the reason why I tell y'all I hate that character, bro.
Starts bashing his head into the ground repeatedly. Then when he was done bashing his face in, he holds his head up for display and straight up tells him, who's next? So with a last ditch effort, Tank Top Master decides to get up again, but Garo just backhands, putting Tank Top Master to sleep. And it was basically rats for all these other jobber tank tops. Garo just starts flowing like water right through them, knocking them all out in sync. This dude with a shitty buzz cut just whiffs. He eats an elbow because of it, and everybody else just got slaughtered. All he heard was just screams of pain while they were getting massacred by this man. So after this dude laid everybody out, one of Bang's students comes behind him and tries to sneak him, but this poor dude was just another lamb for the slaughter. Garo just destroys him.
Ain't this the one that almost died?
And after this, all you see the next morning is old boy laid out, and everybody else that was there that night were slumped. This man Garo reverse jumped their ass. Now, let's move on to Incident 3, his run-in with Metal Bat. So Garo continue his crusade of beating every hero to the brink of death in random dark alleys and knocking out ugly bastards in front of their hoes. Garo ended up running into Metal Bat. Now, Metal Bat was already hurt from fighting a giant centipede from earlier, but Garo did not give a damn. That said, if you still breathing, you can still get these hands. Now put them up, nigga.
That's not even a real fight, Garo. I'm supposed to be on your side because you beat up the bike rider, but like, you could have waited until he rests up. That's not cool, bro. I know you a villain and everything, but even villains have to have some type of principle.
Now, Metal Bat is a certified dog himself, and he ain't gonna back down from no fight. So this was just a good old scrap between two dog-ass niggas. So they get the scrapping and Garo's already popping off early, hitting them with a nice little two-piece out the gate. So they continue to scrap, and that boy Metal Bat is swinging for the fences. If one of this nigga hits lands, it is over. So Garo kicked him in the head, but Metal Bat ate it and started swinging at this nigga. But Garo was a member of Weave Nation. This nigga's evasion skill is maxed out. Look at this, Weave, nigga, and continue to full-on assault this man. And every time Metal Bat would try to land a hit, Garo would just bob and weave while Metal Bat was hitting straight air. So Metal Bat decides to whip out his finishing move, and he literally turns into a human tornado. But Garo said, come with it, nigga. As this man starts to parry the attack, then he finds an open.
Let me make sure I got this right. He parried the tornado and took him out his whole finisher, bro. All right, well, okay. Never seen nothing like that before.
Then hits this man with a demon breath, sending him flying and knocking him out cold. Like, I'm telling y'all, bro, this nigga Garo is a young Heihachi. He just used his rage art from Tekken 7. And Garo was talking crazy after this, saying, hey, good scrap, bootleg Yusuke. Now set your ass on the ground, punk ass nigga. But when Garo thought it was over, he straight up sensed murderous intent as Metal Bat is about to crack his skull open. But the only thing that stopped him in this moment was his little sister just randomly pulling up out of nowhere. She unknowingly saved this man Garo from getting his head split open. So Garo straight up backhands him, and Garo goes in for the finishing blow. But the little sister just straight up stops him, and she telling this nigga, F off, mister, this fight's over. So Garo just straight up said, you know what, fine. But when I run into your dumb ass again, I'ma dog walk your ass. And Garo leaves. And after the fight, you could just see the damage he did to Metal Bat. His little sister chopped him across the head, and bro just straight up passed out from all the blood he's lost. So Garo technically cooked that nigga. And with that, we close off Exhibit A and move into Incident 4. That is just simply worthy of its own exhibit. The Garo Trial. Exhibit B. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our final exhibit. Exhibit B, the 1v8. This is simply one of those moments where you will look at this and you'll be like, damn, this might be a Hall of Famer when it comes to this menace shit, because what he does right here is absolutely disgusting.
I forgot. I feel like I should remember what he did, but I can't remember. I think I might have dementia, y'all.
Damn, this might be a Hall of Famer when it comes to this menace shit, because what he does right here is absolutely disgusting. So while Garo was chilling out in this shack after a fight he had with Watchdog Man and getting disrespected by Saitama, dude was just trying to lay down and recover from his injuries. So while he was slumped, 8 heroes pull up to this shack and they only got one goal in mind, and that is Swiss cheese and Garo. So he ends up coming outside, jumps up to the roof, and just starts yelling, "Attention, punk pussy bitch ass! I'm about to dog walk your asses!" So Mr. Cowboy with his dualies started to shoot at Garo, but Garo started moving on all fours like a dog and tried to kill the cowboy off the rip. But Stinger tried to stab him, and Garo dodges at the last second. And this is when bro just started getting jumped. This man was having to dodge everything because he was surrounded by 8 people. Then the barrage of arrows comes in. He starts to dodge it, but 2 of them end up landing in his back. So Garo at this point was in between a rock and a hard place because he's at half health having to fight 8 people at the same time. So Death Gatlin told this man, "This your final chance, ho ass nigga. Surrender now or I'm Swiss cheese in your ass." But Garo was like, "Nah, twin, let me just lock in real quick." So this bum-ass Toad threw his chain and wrapped up his ankle. And homeboy right here threw a massive ball at him. But Garo was finally ready to lock in. He counters the ball into the Toad.
I remember this.
Squashing him first. So after he boomed him, the cowboy with the dualies starts trying to up the toolie on Garo. But Garo hits that massive ball again, and it nails that trash-ass cowboy. Bro sent that fraud-ass Arthur Morgan packet. So the ball ends up bouncing off a tree, and it's about to hit old boy in his armor. So he destroys the ball, but Garo used the ball as a feint and just comes right through it. So he grabs old boy, lifts him up above his head so he takes all the arrow shots. Then bootleg tracksuit Gohan tries to throw some rocks at him. Garo catches them, then throws them at the archer behind him.
Garo is definitely built different, bro. He's definitely built different. What the heck? It makes you want to root for the villain so bad. Like, I understand why Garo was like that when he was a kid. He wasn't messed up in the head. He just had vision. That's all it was. He had vision.
Garo catches them, then throws them at the archer behind him, putting him on his ass. So after he cooked him, Stinger came in and tried to stab Garo again. But Garo plants old boy in the ground using him as a human shield. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Mance has already took out half the squad. They don't even know what hit him, but it gets even more wicked from here. Garo digs in the ground, rips up a vine, then uses it to kick the goofy out of this nigga. So after he sent that goofy ass nigga back to the lobby, he starts running after bootleg Gohan and just starts throwing hands at him. That man Garo was like, "You can't block all day, pussy." So when Bro finally tries to attack, he hits a left to the face side, and Garo just starts raining a barrage of punches on him, beating the literal life out of bootleg Gohan. So while Garo continued to beat on dude, Stinger comes in and tries to hit Garo, but he whiffs and Garo hits him with the counter. Dude hit him so hard he was looking up at the birds. And Garo wasn't done. He was like, "Nah, twin, I'm about to whoop your shit." He started hitting this man with so many.
That's the Naruto combo. Is it called the Sasuke combo? Y'all know what combo I'm talking about. The Sasuke combo.
Dude hit him so hard he was looking up at the birds. And Garo wasn't done. He was like,
No.
"Nah, twin, I'm about to whoop your shit." And he started hitting this man with so many kidney shots. The nigga was floating in midair while getting his back blown out.
Huh?
Then he saw bootleg Gohan try to get back up. He said, "Nah, sit your ass down," and sent him into a tree. And bootleg Gohan was done. This man was about as useless as Gohan when he was wearing that damn tracksuit. Bro was straight buns. Stinger just fell over. That nigga was done. So the last man standing was Death Gatlin, and he was about to up the toolie on this nigga. He uses his final move, the Death Shower, and dumps out every single bullet he has. This man did not care that that random kid was still in that shack either. He just wanted Garo dead, but Garo ended up parrying every single bullet, and this man ran out of ammo. So Death Gatlin was cooked. He tried to run at Garo with a knife. Dude just gives him a nasty left, sending him flying and putting this fraud-ass Barrett to sleep. And with that, Garo pulled off a second reverse jumping and cooked 8 heroes at once. Wicked work. The Garo trial. The verdict: Nah, y'all, this is an easy one. That's a pass, bro. This dude is a menace to society. Like, dude was actively going around here beating people up to the brink of death, even though he got his ass whooped by these old ass niggas at the end. It doesn't change a damn thing. This dude is a menace to society. Bro just straight beat up 20 heroes on screen for shits and giggles, and he called it hunting. And then Uno reverse card in 2 jumpings? Like, nah, this YN needs to be stopped. And you know what's crazy? Exhibit C is right around the corner. So bro is most definitely getting a second trial by the end of the year. So that was one of the easiest
The
passes
next
I've
season
ever done. So,
is the next
hope y'all
Garu
enjoyed. Have a bootyful
transformation?
man. I'm going for 3 this month. Next.
Pain, the shinobi who nuked the Hidden Leaf Village.
I want y'all to look exactly at this frame right here. Her neck is already broken. She is eating dirt while her body is making the letter Y. And I felt so bad for Naruto, bro. Dude was having to watch his future wife get thrown around a dusty ass crater. He just had to sit there and watch it all happen. This
Best
man
fight in
Pain really
Naruto.
had this man in the hotel chair, just sickening.
Damn. You turned him to a cuck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. After the many detours and the many tweets and memes
It's
of this
here!
video being stuck in limbo forever, court is now in session, and it is for none other than the shinobi that refuses to fight one-on-ones and will roll up on you with 6 minutes. The master of jump jutsu, Pain. Now this one's gonna be a long one because dude was moving wicked. So go ahead, grab some food and get comfortable because the evidence is on deck and is ready to be presented. So without further ado, Exhibit A.
What the hell is this picture? I just had to say something about that real quick. What the hell is this picture, bruh?
Exhibit A. All right. Exhibit A. Taking over the hidden rain and jumping a senior citizen.
Jiraiya.
Ah, man. Let me let y'all in on a little secret real quick. You wanna know why it took me so long to make this video specifically? I had to go back and watch my goat get jumped by 6. Like, it's 2026 and I still feel some type of way about this shit till this
Facts.
day. Like, bro, on the real, I did not want to watch this bullshit again. Having to watch my goat get slimed out by 6 fucking emo niggas. Like, fuck off. Skin and bones at didn't even give them the respect of a one-on-one. Now, before I have to go through the pain of commentating my goat getting jumped,
The pain.
there is a massive atrocity that Pain committed before this. So let's go ahead and break this down real quick. Now, if you watch my Danzo video, I've already basically went over how Nagato ended up becoming Pain. But if you need a little refresher real quick, Danzo and Hanzo basically set this nigga up, leading to the entire original Akatsuki getting squad wiped and Nagato tweaking out and adopting the Pain persona. Now, after he was set up and his whole crew got slimed out, Nagato made sure that he was going to get his revenge by any means necessary. So on one fateful day, Pain pulled up to Hanzo's compound and killed every single guard that was in there protecting this man. Man came in here and cleaned house, left piles of bodies. Old boy right here in the back got his ass beat so bad he got left in prime back shots position. Then he threw Hanzo into the wall like the piece of trash that he was. And in Hanzo's last moments, bro started begging for his life. But Pain stared him dead into his soul and told him, "Are we serious right now, my nigga? You dare beg for your life after you slimed out all my niggas and made me kill my best friend, my brother, the body I'm using right now to body your ass. And you talking about, please don't kill me, after you sold us out to that fucking fraud Danzo when all we wanted was peace." Wait, hold on.
Everything in Naruto is Danzo's fault. I just had to remind y'all. And low key, the 3rd Hokage as well. You let Danzo just run rampant and do whatever he want. Danzo and the 3rd Hokage are some bitch ass niggas, bro. I hate those two. Worst characters in Naruto. They suck.
When all we wanted was peace. Wait, hold on, nigga. I wanted peace too. That motherfucking fraud set me up too. Motherfucker. You should have thought of that before you sided with that dumbass nigga. Wait,
Facts.
hold on, twin. Please don't.
We needed that. Love it.
Pain straight up spun back for his whole crew and boomed Hanzo along with all his other guards and shit. But Pain didn't stop there. Oh no, because he made sure that nobody else would oppose him or his ideals. So he decided to wipe out Hanzo's entire bloodline.
God. Oh,
He went
snap.
after his parents, his wife, his child, his relatives, his friends, and even their infants.
I did not know
Wiped
this.
them all off the map. Dude straight up eradicated his entire clan and completed a whole hostile takeover of the entirety of Amegakure. Now, we've sadly reached the second part of this exhibit, and it is, of course, my goat getting jumped. Now let's go ahead and set the record straight. When it was just a 1v1, when it was just Jiraiya versus the Animal Path, he was cooking that nigga shit.
Yep.
Every single summon he pulled out, Jiraiya boomed it. Oversized Mr. Krabs, boom. Demon Cerberus dogs, boom. The Brazen Boom, boom. A mutated chameleon chimera on steroids. Boom, nigga.
If it was a 1v1, Jiraiya would still be alive. They needed to jump that nigga. And if he knew that there was 6 niggas, he would have been more prepared. But he did not know. He had no intel on Pain. Pain is my favorite villain, but that nigga did slime out Jiraiya. And he's still my favorite villain. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, bro. It's a love-hate relationship. Same thing with Akaza. I like him from Demon Slayer, but that nigga a bitch too.
The Brazen Boom. A mutated chameleon chimera on steroids. Boom, Nick. This fight was actually manageable until Pain stopped playing fair and said,
I have to admit, Jiraiya-sensei, when it comes to one-on-one combat, you are superior. However, let's see how you fare when it comes to getting jumped.
And summons 2 more of these niggas, making the fight a 3v1. And this is when the unfair bullshit began. Jiraiya went in with a massive Rasengan, but it gets absorbed and gobbled up by the damn big-ass, big-belly, Will Kelly built-ass Pain. Then he got behind the human path and tried to punch him, but he blocks his attack without even looking at him. Then he tried to attack the animal path, but Pain summons a massive armored panda to block Jiraiya's sharp-ass porcupine hair. So after he tried to attack all 3 of them head-on but couldn't even land a hit, Jiraiya was like, bump this twin, I'm out. So he leaves and escapes through the pipes. Now this sequence right here is when Jiraiya showed us how elite of a ninja he was, because he pulls off one of the greatest plays of all time. He got Ma and Pa to make sound waves to lure the Pains over to him. So while they were running at him, he had a shadow clone come out of the wall and shoot a fire style attack directly at Will Kelly's fat ass to distract him. So while old boy was enjoying the all-you-can-eat chakra buffet, the other 2 were still running at him. So he shoots out another fire style attack to make them dodge. But when the human pad tried to land on the roof, he got stuck in a pile of goo and couldn't move. So then the animal path was left all alone in a 1v1. And when bro was finally isolated from his other niggas, he was straight cookies, because Jiraiya kicks him in his chest and makes his body ragdoll across the hallway. Then he trapped all 3 of them in a genjutsu. And when he had them locked in here, he stabbed all 3 of them and immobilized them, clutching the 3v1. That's why he's a prime example of why this nigga's my goat. He took a unwinnable 3v1 and turned it around into his favor. And he theoretically should have won this fight. But this is when the bullshit ramped up to the max. While he was walking away thinking that he put them down for good, another Pain spawns behind him, and he just whispers in his ear,
Didn't you teach me to never let your guard down, my foolish Gunareva-sensei?
Then throws this nigga Jiraiya out of the building and into the ocean. And he ended up losing his left arm.
I forgot about that. I haven't seen this fight in so long. It's been years, chat. So some of this is refreshing my memory. He lost his arm in this fight. Fuck, bro, we about to see him get fucked up. I'm not ready, bro. I'm not ready.
Out of the building and into the ocean. And he ended up losing his left arm because of this. And after Jiraiya got his arm ripped off, this is when all the Pains arrived and pulled up on this nigga. And you could see it in Jiraiya's face. He knew he was fucked. And you could tell he was thinking in his head, oh my God, there's 6 of these niggas.
6, bro.
Boy, I tell you, my nigga Jiraiya was sick to his stomach. First of all, the main pain is your dead former student's body being controlled by your other former student, which he didn't figure out till it was too late. And then number 2, all 6 of these niggas had renegons? Like, excuse me,
that is
nigga?
crazy.
Like, this
that is crazy.
Bruh shook. And while Jiraiya was thinking, what the hell is going on? Pain was up here just looking at him and telling him,
Yes, Jiraiya-sensei, your eyes do not deceive you. There are indeed 6 of us standing before you, and we are the embodiment of pain.
And now you will feel the pain of all 6 of us collectively stomping your old ass out. So all 6 Pains jumped down and start jumping Jiraiya. OG stood no chance at all. Bro tried to come in and punch the Tendo Pain, but instantly gets blocked and thrown off to the side. Then he destroys the whole building trying to drown Jiraiya with all the debris. But while Jiraiya was underwater, he ends up grabbing the animal path and drags him down underwater into his domain. Because he knew that out of all the Pains, he was straight cookies. Because when it came down to 1v1s, he was butt cheeks. So the moment Jiraiya got him in a ISO, he swings around and shoves a Rasengan right into Bro's gut, taking him out with ease.
He's
But
still
when
putting
my
up a
glorious
fight.
King sat down to try to take a breather, Pain used the chakra rod to stab Jiraiya right before the animal path went offline. So after Jiraiya took out one of the Pains, he tried to see if he could get the drop on one of the other Pains. So he tried to throw a shuriken at the bald one, but he ducks and Jiraiya ends up bricking. Then the remaining 5 Pains surrounded him. And this is when it all clicked for Jiraiya. Because when he started to look at all of them, he finally realized, oh my God, I've encountered every single one of these niggas before. And the moment Jiraiya finally put the puzzle pieces together and figured out who Bro exactly is, the bald nigga comes out of the water and crushes his throat. Then all 5 of them came down and stabbed Jiraiya to death. So with the last bit of HP Jiraiya had, he had to make sure that everyone knew the bullshit that he encountered this day. So he wrote on the back of Paul's back, and it basically said, Naruto, Pain is not one man. He is 6 niggas in total. Also, delete my browser history, twin. I can't have Tsunade seeing that shit. And right after Jiraiya wrote his last message, Pain shoots a rocket fist at him and blows up the greatest gooner to ever do it. And he sinks to the bottom of the ocean and dies after getting hoed by 6 niggas.
Was that a smile right there? Was he smiling? I leave the rest to you, Naruto Uzumaki. The future of the ninja world is in your hands. I'm pretty sure he said something like that. R.I.P. to the GOAT, man.
Exhibit B. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Exhibit B. Invading the Hidden Leaf. Now, this exhibit right here is going to easily be the longest exhibit for this trial, because the amount of destruction and people that just straight up die in this exhibit alone is just ridiculous. Like, this man's crime stats are about to go to the moon. So Pain decided that it was finally time to kidnap Naruto and to wipe the Hidden Leaf off the map. So the first victims to feel the wrath of Pain were these 4 random Jonin that were on guard duty. Now, they were outside enjoying the beautiful day that it was, and probably thought that there was no way in hell that they would have any types of problems today. But right before they were about to take their lunch break, Pain pulls up right in front of them, and he didn't even say a word. He just shoots Bro in the front and kills him right in front of his homies. So after he dropped the first guy, the other 2 Jonin come down from the air and tried to hold him down. And they were basically—
What was that attack? What the hell was that? They came from the sky and just tried to hold his body? What the hell? No jutsu, no nothing, just came from the sky and held him?
The other 2 Jonin come down from the air and tried to hold him down. And they were basically sacrificing themselves so homeboy right here could run away and alert the village that there was an intruder. But since Pain, aka Nagato, is a very sickly looking man, he does not like other niggas touching him. He takes social distancing very seriously. So he Shinra Tensei's both of them off of him, killing these 2 poor souls on impact.
With the
and
push?
Then the last guy standing got done the worst out of all of them. Pain picked Bro up and slowly pulled his body towards him while staring him dead in the face before shoving a whole chakra rod through his stomach. And with that, these 4 unlucky poor souls were the first of many victims of Pain's massacre. So after he took out the 4 guards, he wasted no time to get started on destroying everything. So all 6 Pain spawn inside the leaf and disperse. And the moment they got to the location that they were meant to be in, they immediately started to cause chaos and destroy everything in their path. They was blowing up every single block in the damn village. They didn't give a fuck about any of the innocent people in the village that were getting killed. They was blowing their ass up for the love of the game. Multiple people that were running away died because they were getting crushed by all the debris of the blown up buildings. And just off this
What the hell is she
observation
doing
alone,
there?
this is already a case of mass murder and just flat out terrorism. Because the amount of people dying and blocks getting blown up is legitimately uncountable. And my God, the amount of Joni that were getting dropped off was unfathomable. Will Kelly was out here choking out while others had to watch in the cut chair and wait for their turn to get choked out. The
Run
human
away.
path was out here sucking the soul out of these niggas. Pause. And I ain't gonna lie, the big buff motherfucker was without a doubt the freakiest out of all of these niggas. He was out here choking niggas out and asking them,
Where is the Nine Tails Naruto Uzumaki?
but the Jonin were like, I ain't no snitch. You freaky ass buff bitch. So he used his great nigga jutsu to pull out their tongues to see if they were lying or not. And when he was done, he ripped out their whole tongue and gobbled that shit up.
What the hell? I don't remember that. I do not remember that at all. Where can I get that jutsu from? How can I learn that?
Their whole tongue and gobbled that shit up. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, gang. Hit that nigga with sexual assault because that was so unfreakishly called for. So while Buff Pain was out here taking tongues and other things, this motherfucker Will Kelly big ass was on a tear. He was surrounded by like 10 Joni, but he did not care. He was happy as hell because all he was thinking of was, oh yeah, I ain't never losing weight because all I see in front of me is a buffet of free eats. And blows up the entire block, killing every single Jonin around him. So while Will Kelly was going around terrorizing people like he terrorizes fast food workers, there was another major fight going on that almost gave me as much depression as
Kakashi?
Pain versus Jiraiya. And that, of course, was Pain versus Kakashi. So here's how this tragedy went down. So Kakashi confronted the Tendo Pain because bro was literally 5 seconds away from adding Iruka to the dead nigga list. So when Kakashi got the ISO with Pain, he throws up a mud wall to try to box him in. But Pain shoves a chakra rod through Kakashi's shoulder. So Kakashi tries to counter with a lightning blade. But Pain stares into this nigga Kakashi's soul. And he ends up bricking because of this. So after Kakashi bricked his first lightning blade, he thought there's no way I could miss a second time. So he tries to hit him with another lightning blade. But the Shinra Tensei merchant Tendo Pain tells Kakashi to bag that ass. So after he sent Kakashi flying like 200
the
yards,
hell?
the moment Kakashi finally recovered, the bald nigga Pain jumps in right behind him and tries to sneak Kakashi with his bazooka arm.
They stay jumping people, bruh. Like one-on-one, Pain. You stay jumping niggas, bruh. This is definitely a conflicting video for me. I like Pain as a villain. Do I like his actions? Do I like what he did? Not really at all. But what he stood for and the message he tried to teach people is what really matters to me. That's some real shit.
And tries to sneak Kakashi with his bazooka arm. They haven't even been fighting for 10 seconds, and this nigga Pain is already jumping. He looked at Kakashi and basically told him,
Nick, did you really think that this was gonna be a 1v1? You should have known you were gonna get jumped the moment you tried to fight me.
So the bold Pain's body starts to morph, and he ends up mutating into a form with 6 arms and 3 faces. So Pain starts to pull Kakashi towards the bald nigga. Now while he was getting pulled, Kakashi tried to use a chain to stop his body moving. But Pain just looked at Kakashi trying to save himself like,
That don't work.
There's no way out of this.
so he starts to pull him even harder, and he ends up taking a blade to the gut. Now, thank God this was a shadow clone, because if Kakashi went out like that, Nick would be questioning his legacy. So after he faked
They would have called him a fraud.
Bald Nick ends up getting crushed by Choza and Choji. And now Pain was about to get a taste of his own medicine, because this man was about to get jumped by Kakashi, Choza,
Jump his ass!
Choji, and the rest of Choza's squad. But even though Pain was about to get jumped, the master of Jump Jitsu knew exactly how to counter this shit. So he ran directly at everybody and let all of the no-name background characters spam their jutsus. So after they were done throwing every projectile at him, Pain assessed his situation and knew he had everybody lined up for a fat ult. So this nigga uses his ult and says, Shinra Tensei, and blows up the entire area. And this attack took out every single no-name bum that tried to land a attack on this man. So after he one-shotted all the background characters, Kakashi tried to get the jump on Pain from the ground. But the Shinra Tensei merchant blasted him off of them again and sends Kakashi down to the ground. So Pain walked up and tried to kill Kakashi while he was stunned. But Choji and Choza come in from the side and try to hit Pain with a double-side spin dash. But Pain counters them both and spams Shinra Tensei once again to get them off of him. But after Pain used his jutsu, they actually ended up trapping this man with a chain that they hit on the ground. So Kakashi tried to hit Pain with one more lightning blade, but out of nowhere, the bold Pain comes.
Oh, look at that freaky ass nigga. He likes that. He likes being penetrated, bro. What the? Why is he making this face while he got a hole inside him?
With one more lightning blade, but out of nowhere, the bold Pain comes in and uses his body as a sacrifice. And this opening led to Pain once again blowing up the entire area. And after their failed attack, Choza and Choji were both knocked out cold, and Kakashi was trapped in a bunch of rubble. And while Kakashi was trapped, Pain looked at him and told him,
How foolish. Did you really think a master of Jump Jitsu wouldn't know how to counter Jump Jitsu itself? What a shame. And motherfuckers really call you the copy ninja. Now no Pain, and take this 223 to the dome.
Sheesh. Damn, bro. That's how he went out?
Shame. Now, Kakashi actually didn't die from the headshot because he used Kamui to bail him out. Kakashi actually died when he had to use Kamui again to bail Choji out when he was running from his life from a bazooka. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change a thing. Pain took my boy Kakashi off the map. Bro boomed two of my favorite characters in the most nonchalant way possible.
That is crazy.
After Pain killed
both of Naruto's senseis got boomed by one nigga. Villains don't really be doing nothing, but this nigga in a couple episodes boomed two of the most important characters in the show. If we're talking about legendary villains, I got Pain in my top 3. Aizen up there too, but I got Pain in my top 3.
So after Pain killed Kakashi, the other Pains were still on a tear in the village. Hell, the animal path made the village a whole open zoo, and Buff Pain was still out here on this freaky shit. Because tell me why he had Konohamaru getting choked out on a wall.
Hey!
This nigga had a child getting choked out and about to get his tongue ripped out right before our eyes. I mean, Ebisu tried to help him, but he got swatted away like a fly. And this freaky ass nigga was about to rip a child's tongue out. But thank God it was a shadow clone and Konohamaru faked this freak ball out and hit him with a Rasengan.
Hey!
But at the end of the day, this is attempted murder, assault, and child abuse. Because what the f is this nigga doing generally? Out here trying to rip.
Why a child though? Just let him run away. Out of all characters, why did he have Konohamaru on that wall like that? I don't know. That's a little suspicious, bro. Like out of all characters in this show, you had Konohamaru on that wall trying to take his tongue? You're looking a little weird, buddy.
Out here trying to rip the tongue out of kids, like, come on, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give a shout out to Konohamaru. Bro took out a Pain as a guinea when all these other Jonin were getting packed up. Like, real shit, the Leaf needs to do some reevaluations on rank. Cause some of these niggas repping the Jonin rank, shit, and Chunin are sorry as fuck.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how they passed the exams. I'm being so serious right now. Like, generally how.
Legacy titles.
While the chaos continued, Pain's next move was just straight up wicked. Shizune, Ino, and her dad were huddled up and discussing tactics and thought they were in a safe area until Pain jumps down on them and drops a whole grenade. Now, after the grenade blew up, he had Shizune in the worst hostage situation possible. Pain basically told Ino and her dad,
Don't move a muscle, or I will suck the soul out of this fine-ass secretary.
The Hidden Leaf does not negotiate with terror.
Did not say don't move a muscle, dumb bitch!
What? Ah, man.
What?
Poor Shizune. Pain really sucked the soul out of her body. So after Shizune was a victim of the Gok Jutsu, Pain confronted Tsunade. So Pain started talking to her like,
Long time no see, Lady Tsunade. I see after all these years that you're still fine as hell. But my apologies. I didn't come here to hit on a cougar who's trying to hold on to the last bit of youth they have left. I came here to spread pain.
So Tsunade was trying to tell Pain that all he was a terrorist, and he's trying to undermine the peace that the leaf has brought. But this made this nigga Pain snap. He heard her say this and was like,
Tell me, woman, what type of peace has your village brought upon this world? Because all your village has brought is pain. Your village is responsible for the death of my parents. Your village is responsible for turning my nation into a war zone. Your village is responsible for tearing apart the only family I ever had. Your village is responsible for not holding monsters like Danzo accountable for their actions and let his repeated mistakes and atrocities go uncalled for. Your village is responsible for so much bullshit it makes me sick. And quite honestly, I think I'm ready to wipe this shithole off the map.
So Pain starts to float up in the air.
He not lying.
He floated up all the way up to the tippy top. This nigga says,
And now, this world shall know pain.
So this nigga Pain ends up committing one of the worst crimes a character has committed in a trial. This nigga proudly said, with all of his heart,
Shinra Tensei,
and blows this entire bitch up.
Hey, man.
This man turned the entire village into a crater, a fishbowl. Nick straight up nuked this bit and made every single villager of the Leaf experience true pain.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. He's not lying. Everything he said has been true. They did not hold Danzo accountable. They started a lot of BS. Now they want to be on peace. We ain't forget what y'all did. Y'all started the Uchiha as well. If we're being honest, low key, the Leaf definitely deserved that. Not the citizens, but the people in charge definitely needed that. We've been letting them get away with a lot of stuff, man. Especially Danzo. The third let Danzo do whatever the he wanted, and that is the reason why I truly hate him. And he didn't take care of Naruto. That's just the icing on the cake, bruh.
Exhibit C. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our final exhibit, and it is without a doubt one of the most foul exhibits of all time. Exhibit C, animal abuse and beating a man's future wife to death. So after Pain nuked the Leaf, Naruto finally pulled up with one of the coldest intros of all time. This nigga Naruto hit this pose before being summoned and probably thought, oh yeah, when I pull up, everybody gonna be like, damn Naruto, you cold as hell. Just for this man to pull up and realize that the whole village was flattened. But I ain't gonna lie, the moment Naruto heard from Tsunade that Kakashi died and he was finally face to face with the person that killed Jiraiya, it was all finishing, no nonsense from this nigga. Bro boomed the ball nigga Pain in like 5 seconds. Even Pain was like,
well, goddamn, this little nigga really might be like that.
So Pain lines up all the other Pains to protect the Tendo Pain because he was trying to recover all the chakra he used from the Shinra Tensei. So Naruto hits a full sprint and starts rushing the Pains, while the Toads were just beating the shit out of all the animal path summons. They were hitting them with actual aerial combos. Then Naruto rushed Chunky Pain and laid his fat ass out. So after Naruto knocked out Mr. All-You-Can-Eat, Naruto chucked a Rasen Shuriken at him and one-shotted the human path, straight up shredded his ass. So after he turned the human path into ground beef, the next Pain he went after was, of course, the sorry-ass animal path. Because just like when Jiraiya went against it, this nigga is absolute garbage in a one-on-one confrontation. So Naruto got Gamakichi to straight up eat Shorty and trap her in his mouth with Naruto just waiting in there for it. So Naruto starts piecing her up because she can't see shit. Then he gives her a double Rasengan, taking the animal path offline for good. So after Naruto took out the sorriest Pain, Pain grabbed Mr. All-You-Can-Eat World Kelly's reboot card and revived him with the Freak Ninjutsu, and the remaining 3 Pains line up in a formation. So Naruto throws a Rasen Shuriken at Big Chungus, and he takes the Rasen Shuriken head on and tries to absorb it. But this Rasen Shuriken was straight up bait, because it was Naruto the entire time. So he tackles this and it ends up creating an opening for a real Rasen Shuriken to go straight to the Tendo Pain. But right before it was about to hit, bro, Pain's chakra finally gets restored, and he's able to spam Shinra Tensei again. So he easily dispels the Rasen Shuriken. But when Pain thought he had Naruto cornered, dude had a whole nother shadow clone come from the top rope. And he
was moving.
Pain's back out.
What?
Look at his face. Even in death, this nigga still looks like a freak. Or cheesing like a motherfucker, and his eyes are rolled back. So after Freaky Pain got his fantasy fulfilled of getting his back blown out.
Why is Kermit stroking my screen right now? Where did you even get this from, CJ? I have questions, and hopefully you give me answers. Where the f did you find this?
Naruto tries to take out Pain right here, but since Pain got his powers restored, he got back to immediately spamming Shinra Tensei. So he blasted Naruto off of him. Then after he sent Naruto flying, Yamakichi and the Toads try to jump him, but Pain flies up right in the middle of all 3 of them and uses his anti-jump jutsu. So he slams his ult once again. He sent these damn Toads flying. They got flung out of the village, and every single one of them got knocked out cold. Not gonna lie, gang, gotta hit him with the animal abuse right here. Because bro just casually threw giant toes like they were nothing.
Giant
so
toes,
he flung the toes all the way out of the Leaf's borders, Pain pulls Naruto towards him, and Chunky Boy gives him right to the gut and puts him in a headlock. And he starts to absorb all of Naruto's Sage Chakra. But this was a massive mistake made by Pain, because Mr. All-You-Can-Eat ended up absorbing too much of his Sage Chakra. And this ended up leading up to him turning into a bullfrog and being petrified and turning into stone. So Naruto ended up breaking free, and he finally had the ISO with the Tendo Pain. But the moment this fight was about to turn into a one-on-one, Pain decided to play dirty. This nigga universal pulls paw towards him and stabs this old ass frog nigga to death.
I just clapped it up for a 1v1 just for Paw to die, bro. No! For a villain, Pain was getting shit done. Every time I turn around, he's doing some real crazy shit. And he's not playing fair. Pain is not playing fair, bro. You gotta respect it. By any means possible, he's gonna get shit done.
Paw towards him and stabs this old ass frog nigga to death. This man murdered the old geezer frog and put him on a stick and made him a frog kebab. Then he pulled Naruto towards him, choked this nigga, then slammed him in the ground head first. And to make sure he didn't move anymore, he used a chakra rod and shoved it through both of his hands. So after Pain pinned Naruto down, Pain gave Naruto a nasty reality check. Naruto was yelling at this nigga and telling him that he shouldn't be yapping about peace and justice because he blew up his village and killed a bunch of his friends. But then Pain told Naruto, "Okay, then little nigga, let me ask you this."
The best speech in Naruto. This is the speech that made me a Pain fan. I know that sounds crazy, but this is the speech that changed my whole life. If y'all don't watch anything from this fight, watch the Pain speech. This is so powerful, bro.
Okay, then little nigga, let me ask you this then. What about my family? What about my friends? What about my village? They all suffered the same that your village has suffered, and it was done by your people. Yes, the Leaf, the nigga you be hanging with, fucked my entire life up. So all I'm doing is spinning back for my people and for the pain that your village has caused me. And now that I've made you experience pain, you now hate me. So answer this question for me, little nigga. How would you stop this cycle of hatred? Oh shit, oh
No answer.
That is exactly what the f I thought.
So
No
after
answer.
Pain lectured Naruto about peace, he straight up stabbed Naruto with 6 more chakra rods to just pin him down like a dog. And while Naruto was pinned down, Mama Toad was yelling at this nigga Naruto, telling him to get up like, "Get up, young whippersnapper. Don't let this heathen pin you down. Do you hear me, boy? Wake your ass up." Oh, sweet Jesus.
Noisy ass old bitch. Shut the fuck
fuck up. So after Pain brutally assaulted a old lady, we are now set to observe one of the most brutal ref do something ass whoopings of all time. And most of y'all should know exactly what this is.
Yep.
Pain versus Hinata. This was one of those ass whoopings that you begged for it to end. Like, on the real, this is one of the hardest fights to ever watch. Like, it is up there with Vidal versus Spopovich. So here is how this atrocity went down. Now, I'm not gonna lie, her plan was actually smart, because she didn't try to fight the head on at first. What she tried to do was kick the chakra rods off of Naruto so he could move again. And Pain was shocked. He was like, well, ain't this some shit? This girl is actually not an idiot. So when she tried to hit the next one, Pain sends Hinata flying across the crater. Now, I want y'all to look exactly at this frame right here. Her neck is already broken. She is eating dirt while her body is making the letter Y. And I felt so bad for Naruto, bro. Dude was having to watch his future wife get thrown around a dusty ass crater. He just had to sit there and watch it all happen. This man Pain really had this man in the hotel chair, just sickening. Look at him. He is looking up at the stars, and he was actually out for a minute. So Hinata ran to Naruto and hit off another one of the rods. But right when she tried to go for the rest, Pain recovered.
How come she's only hitting one at a time? Why not more than one? Y'all are strong as hell. Kick all them shits off at one time. Why is she hitting one at a time, bro? I've never understood that. Girl, if you don't hit them shits multiple times.
But right when she tried to go for the rest, Pain recovered and blasted Hinata to the stratosphere.
Do something, bro!
Damn.
And this is the part of the fight where I could barely watch this shit anymore, bro. He was genuinely confused. He was actually like, why? Why are you still getting up? Why are you still fighting for this dense fool who doesn't even realize you like him till the last movie of the series? Because I love Naruto-kun. My God, there's not enough pain in this world to fix a dumb broad like you.
That's not what he said, but kind of.
Lord have mercy. Pain really tried to send Hinata back to the lobby, bro. Now, I'm gonna be so real, I don't know how the f she survived this. The plot armor she had right here was diamond, but Pain really used Hinata to mentally torture Naruto. So after he completely destroyed Hinata, Naruto straight up crashed the f out and immediately went to four tails off the rip. That seal that Yamato put on, bye-bye, that got thrown out the window. But Pain did not back down from this. He wanted this fight all along. So Naruto starts earthbending and throwing a bunch of rocks at him. But Pain was like, let me show you my moves, nigga. Let me show you how we get down in the hidden rain. So he started hitting
This is one of the best fights in Naruto, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, he was locked in until 2 seconds later when Naruto blitzed him and punched him so hard he made his whole face morph. Nigga turned him into jello. Then Naruto started playing whack-a-mole with him, just smacking him over on the head.
Yo, this goofy ass fight. I love it.
Got hit with a Dark Souls attack when you miss your roll. And while Pain was planted in the ground, this dude really had the audacity to say, are you feeling it now, Naruto Uzumaki? Are you feeling the pain? Do you hate me, Naruto Uzumaki? So
stop
while Pain
rage
was looking
baiting
like a sprouted vegetable in a garden, Naruto ends up crashing to the point where he's at 6 tails now. And this is where we are at the infamous scene of this Pain saying, every single frame of this scene is a national treasure. So after Pain made the animation budget go into debt, he started running at Naruto at top speeds, dodging and weaving everything. He was out here
this
skating
Looney
on water.
Tunes ass fight, bro.
Like a Sonic boss fight the way Pain was moving. Then Pain ended up going prone and started to deflect all of Naruto's blasts that he was shooting. So after Pain deflected all the blasts, he was like, is that all you got? I expect.
Damn. Yo, why
So
he keep
after Pain got-
why he keep being in these weird ass positions, bro? Out of all the ways to land, how did you land like this?
So after Pain got blasted to Kingdom Come, Nagato decided it was time to pull out the super ultimate move. So when he said this, Konan was like, boo-boo, no, you're not about to do that move, baby. You don't have enough energy. But Nagato was like, silence, Konan. I'm going to capture this like a fucking Pokemon, and I'm going to enter his big ass in my Pokedex. So Pain whips out Planetary Devastation. He said he was about to capture this legendary Pokemon with his Chibaku Tensei. And you could tell this was his final move because he was using every bit of chakra he had left. Bro's whole body was just straining. Nagato looked like he was about to die casting this shit. And he didn't stop until he finally captured the Ninetales. Now, Pain thought it was over. He thought he had Bro captured and it was time to call it a day. But unfortunately for Pain, he had no clue how much plot armor Naruto actually had. Because Naruto ended up breaking out of the Planetary Devastation because of Minato's contingency plan if this ever happened. And after this, it was low-key over for Pain, bro. And the way he was—
It's been so long since I watched this. What was the plan, y'all? I literally have no idea. But I remember Minato having some type of plan because he knew people would be after the Ninetales. But what was the plan? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Because of Minato's contingency plan if this ever happened. And after this, it was low-key over for Pain, bro. And the way he was beaten was poetic. Because he ended up getting jumped.
Yeah!
The same way he was jumping the
Jump his ass back,
He was trying to
Naruto!
hold back all the shadow clones, but he just couldn't. And then when his Shinra Tensei was on cooldown, Naruto launched himself out and shoved a Rasengan to his gut. So after the Tendo Pain was defeated, the last Pain standing was Nagato himself. And the only way Naruto was able to beat this man was to use his most powerful jutsu, the strongest technique in anime history, Talk no Jutsu. So when Naruto pulled up on Nagato, the first thing Nagato did was instantly shoot this nigga. But Naruto ended up eating it. So after he ate the shot, Nagato told him, "All right then, little nigga, you got 30 seconds to tell me about your pain. And if you don't move me or bring a tear to my eye, I'm booming your ass, twin." So Naruto proceeded to tell Nagato, "You know, man, I get it. I know you had a tough life, and I have too. I remember back in the day when I was a little jit, and I would sit on this swing set every fucking day, yearning for friends and attention, while that sad-ass Faluke song played every time. Not enough. Continue. My parents died when I was a baby, and our sorry-ass third Hokage threw me in a nasty-ass, dusty-ass apartment. The fucker didn't even give me enough money to pay fucking rent, and I drank spoiled milk every fucking day. Damn. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And then I would walk outside, and I would have every single villager looking at me like I was a fucking ticking time bomb.
You know what's crazy? He looks like the fourth Hokage. Nobody realized that he was the fourth Hokage's son. He literally looks like him. You telling me nobody was like, that kid with yellow hair looks like the fourth? Nobody said that? Bro, these fucking villagers are stupid. I feel like they just a representation of us, the US citizens, on how stupid we are. We be seeing stuff and just ignore it. No, we need to start saying something, bro.
Outside, and I would have every single villager looking at me like I was a fucking ticking time bomb, and they were always wondering, when is this little nigga gonna crash out? You know how that feels? My heartstrings. I lost my parents, my homeboy, my sensei, and I've been bitchless for all 16 years of my life. But nigga, I'm still standing, and I'ma bring peace to this world and stop this cycle of hatred. Well, goddamn, little nigga, you actually just moved me a bit. Very well, I'm reviving everybody in your village. So Naruto's 100% crit rate Talk no Jutsu worked. And this man Nagato revived everybody in the village he killed in exchange for his life. Now, that's good and all dandy, but are we gonna let Pain off the hook with all these charges after he revived everybody in the leaf? Hell no!
Hey, man.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the jury has decided that this trial is a pass. Pain makes the round table.
Good.
However, all these charges, they not getting dropped, nigga. We're not gonna act like this man did and boom a entire clan and all of their infants. And my goat ain't coming back. That nigga dead forever.
Yeah.
This nigga still getting locked up for life.